A senior Armenian official says Armenia and Azerbaijan have negotiated a ceasefire to end a flare-up of fighting. It's killed 155 soldiers on both sides.
Streets are calm in Yerevan after thousands protested on Wednesday night to demand Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's resignation. Earlier, he told the Armenian parliament that he would sign a peace agreement with Azerbaijan if Baku recognized Armenia's territorial integrity and withdrew its forces. As a result of 2 days of cross-border fighting, Azerbaijan had seized 10 square kilometers of Armenian territory. Baku and Yerevan have been seeking a peace settlement following the 2020 war over the territory of Nagorno-Karabakh.
That's the BBC's Rehan Dimitri. The U.S. Embassy in Sarajevo has described undescribed claims by the Bosnian Serb leader that his security services are eavesdropping on Americans as blustering. Townhall.com. A judge has temporarily blocked Ohio's pro-life law.
The state's abortion ban has been in effect since Roe v. Wade was overturned in June. Hamilton County Judge Christian Jenkins paused the law Wednesday for 14 days. That means abortions through 20 weeks gestation may resume for now, as was the case before the ban. Abortion providers represented by the ACLU of Ohio are seeking to permanently block the law. They contend it violates protections in the Ohio Constitution. The law prohibits most abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected. Keith Peters reporting.
China's foreign ministry accusing the U.S. of violating its commitment to the One China policy and interfering in internal Chinese affairs. The accusations follow the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee's approval of a bill that could significantly increase American defense support for the self-governing island of Taiwan, which China claims as its own. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday. Welcome to it.
Yeah. Howdy.
I'm doing all right?
I don't know, dude. I've reached a point in my life and age where parts of my body just protest.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I sat wrong or slept wrong. It certainly wasn't activity.
Yeah.
I can barely walk today.
Huh.
Like it's like I threw out my back. Like my entire lower back is just, it's like, oh, I have to I have to walk around like a British royal. I have to walk around with one arm in the middle of my back.
Huh. I don't know. It's turned funny maybe? Or?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you're at that age now where I remember I hurt my shoulder for a month and I still don't know what I did to it.
Yeah. It's like, what? I mean, I would love if I had like a reason for it, like strenuous activity or, something like that. But no, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's welcome to getting older.
This happened. You know what? This actually happened to me right after I turned 30 years old.
That was
but I remember why it happened that time.
Yeah.
So I was at work and I was leaned like slightly over to get some copy out of, or a piece of paper out of a copy machine.
Yeah.
And as I was bent over like this to get this piece of paper, I coughed. When I coughed, for the next 5 days, I could not walk. I could barely walk at all. Like for 2 of those days, I had to call into work. I just could not get up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. Like I just threw my back out. And
oh, maybe you ought to someone take a look.
doctor said I need a backiotomy.
Backiotomy. Well, happy Thursday. Hope you're having a good one. Weekend is almost upon us.
That's true.
Football Fridays tomorrow. So, yeah. Sean will be taking over the show tomorrow. I will be heading to El Paso tomorrow. But
Indeed.
I'll be back Monday. He'll be taking over for you tomorrow here. So
It's Mike's side hustle. He actually he mules now.
yes. I'm an Uber driver in El Paso. No, my wife's got doctor's appointments, so I'm going to take her down there. So, but we'll be back. Hopefully, this is the one we find out when she can go back to work and all that good stuff. So, hopefully, we'll get good news tomorrow. But
she's sliding $20 to the doctor to be like, 2 more weeks.
Yeah. She's like, hey,
let's ride this out. Let's ride this out. See how it goes.
As much as doctors get in the whole medical industry, they should just do what we want. Right. I'm waiting to. I'm already excited for the bills that are piling up for this one. So
it's America. Don't get sick.
That's right. Ugh. So, but we do have a full slate for you today.
Yes.
We're going to replay some interviews and have guests as well. We're going to replay interview this hour. Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, joined us yesterday in studio. So we'll play that for you here in just a few minutes. I promised the Band Boosters replay yesterday, but I mismanaged my time and to get that done. So we're going to replay that in the 8 o'clock hour today. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Terry Delgado with New Mexico Senior Olympics going to join us, talk about their event happening. They got a National Falls Prevention Awareness Week's coming up, and they've got an event on September 20th to invite folks out to come and get free stuff and get kinds of workshops and information and stuff. So we'll talk about that in the 9 o'clock hour.
This is how I know I watch too much pro wrestling. Right as you said National Falls, for some reason, my mind completed the sentence with Falls Count Anywhere match. I'm like, oh, really? The Senior Circle's having a Falls Count Anywhere match? All right. I'm in. TLC.
With Terry Funk.
I got to go to a Senior Circle. Loser has to order the winner a hot cocoa match.
Oh, man.
Loser has to remember the winner's scrambled egg order at Denny's match.
That's a big feat for some of those guys, I bet. Remember, get the orders right. So, but that's kind of how we'll run down the show today. So, don't forget this Saturday, the Historical Society and the Kids Arts Program have their big Living History event this Saturday morning out at the Historical Society. Log on to Roswell NM History or log on to Roswell Theater, TheaTre.org to get tickets for that.
Yeah, try.
If you forget and don't get tickets early, show up Saturday and say, I want to play, and they'll let you play.
Nice.
But you might have to wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's just till there's an open spot there. But yeah, they're going to have the kids recreating and being, I don't know if Chautauqua-ing is a word, but they will be kind of like Chautauquas of various people in Roswell history. This time, Mrs. Goddard, Robert Goddard's wife, Mrs. J.P. White.
The real heroes.
The ones that really, the glue for some of these historical figures here is who's on the stage for this particular Living History event. So, but that's this Saturday. Roswell NM History or RoswellTheater.org will get you all the information you need there. So,
very good.
Yeah. It is 12 minutes after 7. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather. I when I left work yesterday, it was around 4, so it kind of sort of rained. It spittled.
Yeah.
And then that was about it. And it got windy and dark and ominous, spittled, and that was it.
Well, I was we'll call it like mid-south, like around the Walgreens-ish area.
Yeah.
And it was coming out pretty good over there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually,
here we didn't get much.
It was real spotty. Like areas were getting it, and then like I would drive to another part of Roswell, and it was just a little spit.
Yeah.
But we did get a pretty healthy and hefty rainbow out of the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't a double rainbow.
No, it wasn't a double. It wasn't a double. But it was just enough of a rainbow when I picked up my kids that they saw it, and it made for a much better afternoon.
Nice.
They were like, we're lucky. We're the first ones in line to get pizza, and So they were just blaming the rainbow.
Nice.
Nothing to do with Dad's good timing.
Yeah. Not with my proper planning.
Right. Yeah, I had nothing to do with it, kids. It's water, droplets being reflected with light up in the sky.
That's right. We'll go with that.
Mm-hmm. There's gold down there.
Find me Lucky Charms. But yeah, it didn't rain. I didn't see much of it, but allegedly we got a little bit of chance of rain this afternoon, but that's it for a few days. Let's go ahead and take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like all the moist air has moved out of our state for a while, so things look pretty good today. We'll have sunshine warming up to the mid-90s and a little bit breezy. Overnight it'll be clear down to the mid-60s, and then we're expecting mid-90s again on Friday with sunshine. Looks like we'll stay pretty warm and dry through the weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 86%. Winds currently out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Like I said earlier, they have us having a slight chance of some rain showers after 3 today, a 20% chance of rain, but mostly sunny for the day with a high of 91. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 63 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, warm, kind of summer-like. Sunny, 94 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 65 degrees with south winds 5 to 10. And then pretty warm for the weekend as well. Sunny and 95 for your Saturday with south winds 10 to 15. And then mostly sunny, high of 94 on Sunday. And just kind of glancing into next week, it looks like we'll be in the low 90s Monday. More rain chances around Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Still highs right around 90 there. So we'll see. All right, it is 7:15. We're going to take about a 2-minute commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we'll play our interview with Brian Luck, superintendent from the Roswell Independent School District. He joined us in the studio yesterday in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll play that next. Don't go away.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
You are invited to a Senior Olympics health promotion event on Tuesday, September 20th to help celebrate the National Falls Prevention Awareness Week at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event is free for seniors 50 plus and will include topics to help with balance, flexibility, and strength training. Health screenings will include free flu shots, free sack lunch to the first 40 people. The day will also include health education mini workshops on foot and orthopedic care, fun sports demonstrations of pickleball, badminton, cornhole, and dance lessons. No pre-registration required. For more information, call 575-623-5777.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Those lyrics were written by a former slave captain who found God and dedicated the rest of his life to preaching the gospel. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrow like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Those lyrics were written by a man as he sailed past the point where most of his family perished when their ship sank. A hymn of praise states this: O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art. The songs of the church tell of God's saving grace, but also give healing and peace during the most difficult of times. We gain encouragement and encourage others as we share the songs of faith and praise.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
Independent School District Superintendent Brian Luckbeck with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How you doing today?
Hey, another beautiful day.
Another day in the neighborhood. Things going well. Kids are in school. Life is happening normal.
That's right.
Can't complain, I guess, right?
No one would listen.
Do any good if I did.
Any good.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. But let's talk. Of course, for folks that aren't familiar, school board meets that second Tuesday of every month. Today's actually, it's kind of because the first was like a Thursday this year, so it kind of threw off me a little bit as far as the.
It feels like we're halfway through. Well, tomorrow we are halfway through the month, and,
I know.
and it puts a kind of a weird spin on this meeting. But the second Tuesday of every month.
But I'm just kind of curious when once the school year is going, especially this one that's kind of those first couple months after. Are those generally quieter meetings or big? Because I'm thinking most of the work was done during the summer, or we'll be doing later. So I'm thinking it's a bit of a lull as far as the agendas for some of these meetings.
It's interesting. So, and again, this is technically second year for me. So, last year is such a blur, but that's my only reference point.
Of course, nothing's normal for about the last couple of years.
No, but I know what we've tried to do is to bring to the board, to bring to the public all of the work that we are doing.
Gotcha.
And we did have some test scores come out the other day, just really trying to emphasize what we're doing and what we're trying to do different. So for the most part, yes, to answer your question, I think there is a down in the anxiety a little bit about things that are coming up at the meetings, but a lot of it is just reporting out on the business that we're doing. And,
people getting their grooves, basically.
Yeah, and it's a pretty heavy lift right now as far as getting things back into normal.
Gotcha.
Whatever normal looks like, but we're getting back.
How what's that look like for you guys now in terms of, because it's getting back to normal, but at the end of the day we're still playing catch up, as a district, and this is not just unique to RASD, this is across the country
and society in general is going to do that. And what it's done for us though is it's given us an opportunity to say, okay, like, where are we at? So we continued our standardized testing throughout the pandemic. A tribute to my predecessors and to everybody that made the decisions to continue to go ahead and to give assessments. So we've been able to track as we've gone through. It has shown us, where are we? And then it does give the teachers the opportunity to do a massive reset and say, okay, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was at this point in my curriculum at this point in the year, and this year it's just going to be different. We've not had our mask on. We've not had to deal with a lot of the things that we've dealt with last year. But now we're getting back to the business that is our business, which is educating kids and getting them there. And we've dealt with some discipline, some behavior issues, because when you take people out of a standardized setting and let them kind of go and roam and do, they're going to go and roam and do. And when you got
to retrain them a little bit,
you bring them back, and it's tough. And I think that was a lot of last year. We had the growing pains of just thinking we could walk back in and flip a switch and everything would be back to the way it was. And it wasn't. And that became real apparent. And then you take the hit and you stumble back a little bit, and you assess and you look at it, and then you formulate that plan. And we had people saying, well, you should have predicted this. And I don't know that I've been in education a long time, and I would have never thought that we would have run into some of the obstacles that we did, and not monster obstacles. I'm not talking curriculum things. I'm just basic behavior. Come in and sit down, and don't throw that across the room.
Well, especially when you get into those younger kids, kindergarten, first, second grade. These are kids, and especially those, they don't, when they're kindergarten, this is the first time some of these kids have walked into a classroom. They don't know that procedure. They don't know that stuff. And then you put it in a world that was different before. It's a lot of different variables. So kids that, you're thinking by second grade, these kids should be pretty well versed in how to act and proceed in school. But because they haven't had a normal school year in the last couple of years, they don't really understand yet what that process is. And so things that teachers that normally hey, at this point we're focusing on this. They're like, no, we need to back it up a bit and focus here before we get here. And that's that learning lesson that everybody's kind of, and it's trickulating up and down. It's it kind of starts there, but kind of it goes up and down the line.
Right. Well, and if I've got my math right, it would be this year's second graders that a year ago were first graders that went through a full year of the mask, that the year before that we had school out, that the year before that we ended early. So we're talking, pre-K and or kindergarten, and that's a tough set of years to miss.
Yeah.
And again, the
You're building foundations.
The big lessons, everything I ever needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. Some of that's really ringing true with what we found last year.
Sure.
Now, obviously we have some issues right now, but the difference is this year we knew that going in, so we were able to throw some support at every building with extra bodies. Looking at the training that we did over the summer and really kind of narrowing down our hot areas to help the teachers and then ultimately help the kids be successful.
Absolutely. But one thing we got to all understand, and this is all of us, is to achieve this goal, it's not all on the teachers. It's not all on the admin.
Right.
It's not all on the parents. It's on all of us. And that's something we all need to do our part. And the teachers aren't going to be successful without the support of the staff and the parents. Parents, you're not going to have success unless you support the teachers and the admin. Admin, they're not going to find success unless they support the parents and the teachers. It is a circle that has to be in concert for this success to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of parents and everybody working together, we do have our open house. Our first parent conferences, not open house, but parent conferences are this week.
Okay.
We're getting close to midnight weeks, and we thought this particular year the plan was
it's already going that fast.
It has. So we've got that Thursday evening, so tomorrow, from 3 to 7 at your child's schools, and then Friday morning.
Okay.
As well. And then Friday afternoon, since our teachers are coming in early, they'll be out.
Okay. A lot of times you kind of schedule an appointment with your home teacher.
Yes.
Generally.
So
I don't know about high school.
The
but
primary grades more so than the upper grades.
Gotcha.
You bet. And I know that the teachers have already put that out. But if there's some grandparents or anybody out there that, listening to this or they see some kiddos walking around and, wonder what the heck they're doing, it's okay. This is a time for us to get our parents the information that we need, and again, like you said a second ago, it's an immediate check, and our hope is that this is just one of several that have already happened. That the parents and teachers have already communicated, but as far as one of our official dates, this one is coming up here.
Good deal. So please, if you have not gotten with your teachers, parents, please do so. Have that conversation. Ideally, you're like, kids doing wonderful, great. We'll just keep on keeping on. But if there's issues and things, this is how you find them. This is how you correct them. This is how you keep them from escalating into a bigger problem down the road.
Well, then this is face to face this year. I mean, we've granted we were back there towards the end of the year, about as close to normal as what we could have been, but we still had a couple small things that we were dealing with, and we had some places that still wanted to continue with virtual as far as parent conferences, but we're face to face, opening up the buildings. You've got parents that might have third graders that have never seen the inside of these buildings because they haven't been able to up to this point. So, get in, get active. I sign forms and permission slips on a daily basis for schools that are doing normal school stuff. And it is so nice to see, you have,
a field trip is happening again.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
and our businesses are back to opening their doors to us. You've got our mid-school football games are on Tuesday night. You've got soccer, volleyball, high school volleyball, mid-school volleyball. You've got high school soccer. It is so nice to drive down Main Street on a Friday night and look over at the Wool Bowl and see the lights on.
There's a football game going, yeah.
And our crowds have been just phenomenal. We're super excited about that. The teams that are competing, it feels like it's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And we're glad.
Yeah.
Man,
it's nice after a few years of what we've been dealing with to see life look like it did prior, at least a little bit.
Yes. And that's and again, and I've said this multiple times, is that as schools go, so does the ebb and flow of the community.
Sure. Well, it's the pulse. It's,
Yep.
There's a reason why, a lot of families and stuff and other organizations plan their events around once the school calendar comes out,
Right.
because so many families dictate their lives by the school calendar. And so when it's nice to get back into that routine again, where people are like, okay, well, what, before we commit to this, we need to find out when the Goddard Roswell football game is,
I was going to make the joke of, wait, there's another calendar besides the school calendar? No one's told me this. So.
What is up this calendar you see?
Yeah. These months of June and July, are they foreign? Where do I find these? As a son of an educator, that's life. I mean,
yeah.
You do as the calendar says, and again, the funny thing is coming from the high school, like you just mentioned, your Goddard Roswell, anything. Okay, those are big marks there on the calendar.
Yeah.
Spring breaks, summer vacation, and again, well, I can't do it on this day because of this, or we can't do this because of that.
Right.
So
that's Fair Week. Never mind.
Yeah,
the boosters are going to be there.
Parade day is here, and these are coming up. So. And again, it's excited to get those again. Those are nice.
It is. So we're glad to see the kids getting and let's face it, that extracurricular world of sports and FFA and all the things that kids do, that enhances that educational experience.
It does,
and that's it. So it's good to see that is back in their lives too. So.
Well, and we've got kids at the state fair right now that are showing animals, that are finally back in person showing animals and living up in the dorms there on the
a year ago it was here.
Yes,
a year ago it was all happening here. Which again, we were very thankful our Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds were able to accommodate, but that's probably not the most ideal thing for those state fair people. So,
right.
But
it's not the state fair.
Yeah.
And as a kiddo growing up, the older brothers, older sisters, or you hear of moms and dads, the years that they did that, where they showed their animals at the state fair. And we lost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look back and you say, well, like generations in the past and World War II, or, they were gone for 2 years or 3 years, or different people had this kind of a service requirement that they went through. And it really does put in perspective when you start talking sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
And, we tried really hard when we got our kids back in school to tie the two together of, okay, this was your sacrifice. Imagine what generations of the past felt like whenever they made, and some of them made the ultimate sacrifice. But when you're talking about, you couldn't do this for 6 months. Imagine not being able to do that for 2 years.
Sure.
So it was a neat opportunity for us to tie and do some generational bonding, if you would.
But even but seeing how our history fits in the scope of the history of that, and just the like you said, that you see what we're going through, and we talk, you hear about the greatest generation and what the sacrifice they made. But at the same time, that generation looks at the generation before them and says, look what they did.
Yep.
And that's really what it is. And at the end of the day, each generation is supposed to kind of push the envelope a little further than the one before did. I think when it comes to pushing the boundaries of humanity and science and technology and all of, pushing that forward, every generation, it's kind of like, and I know we're getting way off here, but like when you look at the Artemis project and this things that the NASA's doing now, I'm like, why did we ever slow down doing this? We should be, we were making such progress in humanity and going on and exploring stars, and now, we should be at Mars by now. I'm sorry, the way we kind of stalled here in the 80s and things like that, and humanity needs to keep testing those bounds and exploring and all that.
If you would listen to Clyde Lewis, you would know that we're already there.
Clyde is a wonderful man. I do not listen to all of his stories.
No, I did think it was interesting when he was here the other day, and I actually did drive by and
check it out.
I did try to check it out. Yeah.
He's I've had several meals chit chat with him, and we've had some interesting conversations about like moon landing and things like that.
I can only imagine.
Let's talk a little nuts and bolts though from the last school board meeting here yesterday. Is there some of the things we want to highlight? Any things we want to share with the public? Make sure it's on their radar.
Yeah, I think so. We've got we had a couple information items that were pretty important last night. We did had a presentation by Sunset Elementary, and they went over what we're calling our 90-day plans, and it started as a compliance piece with the state, but then as our principals, our curriculum and instruction department started taking a look at it and really making it a plan and making it a process. So what we're trying to do is bring those before the board and give them an opportunity to hear what as many schools as possible. I mean, we have 12 meetings and then that's a year, and so we're trying to
crowbar them all into that.
Well, we're trying to roll everybody through, and it's tough because our schools are doing a ton of work, and limiting them to 10 minutes into that. But Sunset Elementary came in and did their 90-day presentation last night. We did a brief presentation to the board about some opportunities that some of our buildings have been given with some funding from the state. Mesa Middle School, Nancy Lopez, Pecos, Sierra and Sunset. No,
okay.
Not Pecos, Missouri Avenue. My apologies.
Okay.
Pecos people, I'm sorry, you're not getting the money. But
that's why you said that was going to vote it.
Yeah, I know. The moment I said it, I was like, oh, that's not right.
You're out.
That's not right. I knew that one wasn't right. But they've got some opportunities to take some federal income, low income index money and do neat things. They can train teachers. They can bring in people to do and to coach up.
So it's a little. They're more flexible with what they can do with that money.
A little bit. There's still stipulations, but it is all designed for learning loss and to try to get kids back up to par where they need to be.
At the heart of what they need it for.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
We went through some action items. We've got trips coming up. If groups or organizations are going out of state, they have to take that before the board. Mm-hmm. We've got Goddard High School FFA going up to Indiana.
Nice.
In October, we've got...
Is that nationals?
I believe so.
Okay.
We've got Roswell High's Mesa Club headed to Orlando, Florida. Roswell High School's band headed over to Denver City in October for a band competition.
Real quick, Mesa Club's a great thing that schools have. They, those guys, it's been a couple years, but I got a chance to interview some of the Mesa Club kids at a tailgate party, and they brought some of their like widgets and things they create and stuff. And it's such the STEM stuff. It's so great. So I'm guessing they go to some kind of competition in Orlando there to make robots or something like that.
Well, I don't know what they're making there. Yeah. That has gone from a club that used to meet, once a week in the afternoons to full-blown classes that have now turned into dual credit classes with the college.
Well, it's all important what they do. Yeah,
it's huge because at the end of it, if you complete the series of classes in accordance with Mesa, New Mexico, you're eligible for money. And compete. You have to. You have to be in the classes and you have to do a certain number of projects and compete, and then you're eligible. You didn't have to win. You didn't have to do anything else. If you're there, you're golden as far as money goes.
Well, I'm pretty sure your Robert Goddards and all these people that have created inventions that we have as commonplace today, they would all be Mesa Club people. That's just what they do. That's what they. That's what it's all about is science, math, and pushing that envelope for bigger, better, learning more.
I need to get the group that does Systems Go in here with you, where they make the rockets.
The rockets, yeah.
And they actually take them down to Jowl. They go into Jowl High School. It's a really neat process. They get them there bright and early, and they go into the gymnasium, and everything is open and it's inspected. And you have engineers come in, full-fledged engineers. They inspect it. Then the kids assemble it. And at every phase of the assembly process where it requires another inspection, everything is green lighted, and then they take it out to the site.
Gotcha. So they get a real chance to see, like the process of creating an aircraft or something like that, and that phase inspections, the whole nine,
and then take it out to an actual, and it's a launch site complete with a launch crew. They put the fuel in it right there, and some of these rockets go like really, really high. I'm ashamed that I couldn't tell you the altitude level But it's a big deal. They've got chase crews. I mean,
yeah, it's like a mile or so in the air. If I remember.
They actually have the area around the test site. The airspace around it is blocked off because they're not real sure where some of these are going to go.
They don't want you messing with any air traffic out there.
So, and but that is and that's that group. That's that particular group of kiddos, and really any other group. You don't have to be in Mesa to be in that one. But no, the transition into STEM, transition into more of your hands-on. That's our big push right now with focusing on CTE and focusing with the community and the businesses here in Roswell, Mike Espiritu, just really pushing that hard.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see that, when we went to school, they teach you the math, the science, and the formulas, but, I don't think they did a good job of showing why you need to know this.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you need to know it, but now with the way they show, it's like, look, this is these formulas, these things that make your eyes glassy when you start hearing about them. These are the pieces to this.
Right.
This is how you turn. Understanding this allows you to make this giant rocket and things like that. And so now that disconnect's leaving from why do I need to know these formulas to this is why you need to know these formulas. And I think once students understand, to get here, this is why I need to know that. Now it makes sense. I'm going to understand the formula now.
Well, and it's an immediate deal. You're going to do this now so that tomorrow you can go and do this in the workshop, versus down the road when you're in college.
Yeah,
there's an immediate sense of not gratitude, but immediate sense of why I have to know this.
Yeah.
So pretty big deal. Big deal. So and excited for those kids and a trip down to Florida. Can't go wrong there with that.
Absolutely. So that'll be fun.
More business last night. We did finalize our MOU with the Roswell Police Department for our SROs. It's something that's been in process. They've already been on site. We just had to kind of wrap up a couple formalities.
Sure.
So very much excited about that. We had 2 resolutions last night, one for Constitution Day and one for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Great.
A neat opportunity to recognize both of those. Be looking down the road for some more auctions coming from the district.
Okay.
Had a fixed asset deletion listing last night.
So found some desks and things that need to get rid of.
Well, it's predictable. You bring in federal dollars that can buy product and replace and upgrade, and you're going to have things that need to go. And our diligence was done. One of the items on the list was a $7 item.
Okay.
But it was on there. That's the process. So
it's all transparency. It's because oversight on one little thing will lead to the big thing. So if they got to make a big deal out of the $7 item, is just as big a deal about it as they do the $70,000 item.
It was paid for.
Yeah.
The tax. I mean, and as a taxpayer, I mean as well. I don't want to be. You don't want to miss that. You want to make sure that you're doing your diligence and.
Well, that's when you're dealing with taxpayer money and those kind of things. This is the transparency part. This is why, everything's glacial in governments, because you have to do it so everybody can see your moves and see what's going on and to prevent shenanigans and stuff like that. So yeah, I know it seems like, geez, really, we're nickel and diamond over a $7 item here, but yes, because we owe it to the taxpayers to do that.
Well, then Mr. Gottlieb, who was superintendent before me, had reminded us on multiple occasions, somebody worked 3 shifts so that you could have that $7 item.
Yeah.
So you owe it to them to make sure that you're doing right by them.
Be a good steward with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just some other updates. We our construction projects are going well. Mesa Middle School is coming along. The guys over there with Wade Construction and his subcontractors are working feverishly with the product that they have. Had a construction meeting a couple weeks ago. Got to tour the building, and I'm going to tell you right now, it is going to be nice.
Nice.
We're really looking forward to showing that off whenever it is up and going.
Do they have a ballpark on when they think it'll be ready? Or
I would be hesitant to say
too
right
early
now.
to give something concrete.
I think so. I think we're going to miss the deadline. if I remember correctly, it was like next December if I've got that total turnkey.
Okay.
And the plan was to start moving in phases, and I think as product has not become available,
Gotcha.
We're just going to be delayed a little bit.
Well, it's like the old Mike Tyson saying, everyone's got a plan till you get punched in the face. And, you know, COVID punched people in the face and made people change their plans.
Heating and cooling units, something as simple as small computer chips that go in boards that go inside the big units that, you know, it's amazing what we're waiting on. But still, if you get a chance, drive by there. You're really going to be excited. And then again, once we get that up and open, we'll make sure that we have everybody run through there. Let's see. Did remind our senior parents that we've got senior meetings going on right now in our district, and those are pretty important.
Okay.
As far as if they need resources for their senior year, you know, don't schedule your senior meeting for April. That doesn't really do you any good as far as going forward.
Yeah, the whole idea is to make sure you got all your ducks in a row and everything there. So when you get to April, you're not scrambling to get these things done.
Well, and then the other two big ones that we did hit, like, I'm not real sure where we're at on time.
We got about 5-6 minutes
here. The other two big ones that we hit last night is immunizations.
Okay,
which is different than COVID shots.
Got you. These are your smallpox, all the ones
your normal set of shots.
The ones you're supposed to have to go to school.
That we've always required.
Yes.
There's nothing new there. We haven't added a shot. We're not trying to sneak something in. But what I would like to say with that is that came out about 2 weeks ago. We had a pretty substantial list. Started working with our parents, working with the community as far as trying to get people in to get them shots, and we have had a monster success rate from that. And just want to continue and reach out to people if they're having trouble finding someone, finding a physician, finding a caregiver to get their kiddos their shots. If they'll reach out to even my office, we'll help them with that. We've got our school-based health centers. We've got, you know, there's multiple sets of doctors in town that could help.
Good deal.
They just need to know that they need to help.
And I know that especially when it comes to the children's immunizations, the New Mexico Department of Health, you reach out to their offices here. They will give you resources on how to get that stuff done too. So
well, and they've got all that. I mean, that you're not having to wait on something. You're not having to contact a physician that's going to have to order some of that. And then those records are kept.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was very beneficial even for myself. You know, when get into college and somebody says, we need your shot record. And I'm like, I don't know where that's at.
Keep that around on me here.
We'll go to the Department of Health. Let's go.
The only time I ever concerned myself with shot records was in the military. And I actually had a little book with all the shots that they jabbed into me at one point or another, and had to keep that around with me. But that was the only time in my life.
Well, probably the last big item that we did discuss a little bit last night was our school board zone redistricting.
Okay.
So not schools zone redistricting,
but what territory the school board members are responsible for representing.
And this has been a process that we've been going for months at this point. We've had multiple public meetings. Last night, it was just more of an update that we probably need to come back to the October meeting with whatever we're going to call choices.
Okay.
So that our board can make the necessary selection, and that we can go on and turn in all of our information in a timely fashion.
Is the redistricting pretty radical from what it looked like before, or is it just a couple little areas that are like, all right, we got to figure out what to do here, but the rest is pretty much set in place?
We've been pretty fortunate. We have a group from Albuquerque, Collinwood Research, came in, and they've given, I think we're up to 7 or 8 public meetings up to this point that they've given people chances to come in and ask questions. Not a lot of movement. There's a couple that just need a little bit of tweaking just to keep them back in balance. We've had a positive feedback from those that did come to see the meetings. Last night, the board members were presented with little 8.5 by 11 maps.
Okay.
Of that could be potential changes if they wanted to drive through. We're going to print large maps and have them in the boardroom for the public if they want to come by and take a look and say, okay, this is a change, that's a change. We're going to leave those up. so that it's not like a 2-day event or anything like that. We'll put them up. We'll leave them. We'll start advertising for that once we get them up. The plan is to have them up by Monday, so that the transparency. We're open to this, and then if somebody wants to go by, take a look at that, and then they communicate with their school board member.
Just curious, and you can tell me to go pound sand. This doesn't get as political as, say, like county or city district redistricting is it, or does it?
Okay, so, man. It should not, and I don't believe it will. We have had a really good process up to this point, and I don't envision something changing from now until the end of the process.
So you don't anticipate any contentiousness here or nothing?
Shouldn't. And again, all 5 of our members were at a presentation probably about a month ago now. And we had a really good work session where they were able to ask questions. Again, the organization that's working right now, you could make a suggestion, they could make the change in real time, and then they could tell you all of the rest of the categories that would change if you did that. It would change the voting age, it would change the total age. Really, I'd never participated in anything like that, and so it was extremely informative to me, and it was very eye-opening as far as our community, and just kind of getting a vibe for who's where, and up to this point, and I feel pretty confident with that. We haven't had any of the pitfalls or the potholes that anybody else has had to either jump around or fall through or anything like that.
You don't have the task of trying to make sure there's the same number of Democrats and Republicans in the same little line here and all that.
School districts,
others worry about that kind of thing. You guys,
we are nonpartisan.
You're just like, look, we just need to have the same number of families represented by each of our school board members here.
Right.
So that we just want to make sure that's as fair as possible here.
Well, and Dr. Collinwood has done a really good job as far as like the history, and he did take some time to get to know Roswell, which I want to credit him for that. I mean, he wasn't a fly-by-night company that came in and
looked at a map and said,
draw
some lines and
this is what we're going to do.
See you next time.
As we've had our meetings, his knowledge of the community has grown even more. So when he would make a change or do something like that, he was able to validate and or to bring up potential areas of why you wouldn't want to do that.
Gotcha.
So like I said, for me, it's been a really neat process. And again, I haven't gotten any type of a sense from the board that there's contention to this. It's just, okay, it's time.
It is.
And
I'm just prepping listeners because like we've heard about this with the county and the city and saw where it went. Fortunately, the school board level is not as dramatic.
Well, and the changes that are looking at in the options that that we've gotten narrowed down to are not massive changes. They do move over a couple neighborhoods and some precincts and different things like that.
I think your biggest worry is making sure the school board members still live in the districts that they are running in or are the school board member of. And
that was meeting 1, session 1, minute number 5.
If you make sure that's good to go, the rest can kind of work itself out. But when you get a school board member, it's like all of a sudden, guess what? You're now in District 2 instead of District 3 or whatever.
I don't believe we're going to face that same problem. It's been out there, but no, I don't think we're going to face that.
Don't forget, you can always go back and watch school board meetings and things. They're available at the Roswell Independent School District website. You can go back and there's a YouTube link to years worth of meetings there if you want to go back. And I don't know why you'd want to go back to years worth, but it's there if you do.
We've done it.
I could see it for maybe a point of reference for you guys. It's like we talked about that one meeting, just much like your notes would be there.
Right.
But the rest of us, I don't know if you'd want to be into that, but you do you. But and of course you're always welcome to come and be a part of it in the public especially when we love to see folks out there when we get to honor the kids, usually at the beginning of each meetings, and when we got a championship team or a group of kids that did something special or graduated through a program or something. That's always the fun part, to pack the audience with parents and things when we get to celebrate those kids.
Well, and it's funny that when the parents come in that first time, usually it's for the Pledge of Allegiance. So the elementary school kids will come in for Pledge of Allegiance, and you can always tell the parents that first time, and So the kids will get done with the pledge and then they don't leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's okay. You can, it's just, you don't want to stay.
You don't have to hang out for the rest.
You're more than welcome to, but I promise you we'll actually even wait to start the meeting until everybody, exits.
We're aware. We don't.
It's all good.
We're like, we'd leave if we could too. I'm just kidding. They're like, where are we going to dinner? Let's go. But please, come out and be a part. And then, of course, don't forget, get with your with your teachers, get with your staff as parent-teacher conferences going on here, and get those set up. Get meetings with your teachers, and make sure everybody's on the same page when it comes to your kids' education.
Right.
Here. So
absolutely,
good deal. Well, as always, appreciate the visit.
Thank you.
And we'll see you here in a month, if not
yes,
sooner.
Sir.
And anytime you need on to talk about anything, we'd love to have you. So.
Likewise.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It is 8:55. Let us go ahead and take a quick break.
Now for your
news
Pecos
and
Valley
the break
News
to pay
Update,
for-
I'm Jared Cirillo. As autumn officially begins, the splash pads at Pocorn Park and Carpenter Park in Roswell will wrap up their summer season on September 25th. The city's 2 splash pads will operate for their final day of the year that day before closing until next year. The splash pads are open daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Meanwhile, the indoor pool at the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center offers swimming opportunities. The center's outdoor pool has closed for the season. Also in Roswell, a second community forum will focus on community development. The meeting on Tuesday, September 20th at the Roswell Convention Center. The meeting at 5:30. It will also be broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. Deputy City Manager Mike Matthews will host the meeting. Presentations will be made and questions will be answered by a panel made up of Community Development Director Kevin Mavers, Code Enforcement Supervisor Toby Franco, and Real Property Division Representative Todd Versiglio. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like all the moist air has moved out of our state for a while, so things look pretty good today. We'll have sunshine warming up to the mid-90s and a little bit breezy. Overnight it'll be clear down to the mid-60s, and then we're expecting mid-90s again on Friday with sunshine. Looks like we'll stay pretty warm and dry through the weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up on the NMMI Broncos football situation. The Broncos 3-0 overall this season after defeating Navarro last Saturday 40-35. NMMI will be playing its first road game of the year at Kilgore College on Saturday. And we've got some high school action going on tonight. Volleyball, it'll be Roswell at Goddard, starts at 6:30. Also in volleyball action tonight, Hagerman will be playing at home against Dexter, so a couple of rivalry games. And Gateway Christian will be playing at home against NMMI. Just one score to pass along from Tuesday since we're on volleyball. Lake Arthur lost to Carrizozo by a score of 3-1. And Goddard in girls soccer will be playing at home against Clovis tonight, actually this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The country is bracing for the possibility of a nationwide rail strike at the end of the week, while talks continue between the largest U.S. freight railroads and their unions. The railroads have already started to curtail shipments of hazardous materials and have announced plans to stop hauling refrigerated products ahead of Friday's strike deadline. Amtrak said it will temporarily cancel all of its long-distance trains starting on Thursday because of the potential freight rail work stoppage. Amtrak operates on track owned, maintained, and dispatched by freight railroads. Wells Fargo said it would commission a third-party racial equity audit that will include inputs from both internal and external stakeholders as the bank pushes to boost diversity. The move follows questions about its hiring and diversity policies. The investigation could take a year. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2022.
In the gun, Prescott, inside handoff, Elliott.
Only heard here.
Bouncing right with a convoy to the 5, near the pylon.
All season.
Touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott, 13 yards.
Sunday afternoon, it's your Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Live from AT&T Stadium.
On this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game 1:30, kickoff at 2:30 on Southeastern Mexico's official Cowboy station, 92.9 The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:58. Stay tuned next hour. About 8:15 or so, we're going to play our interview we had with the Roswell High Band Boosters. They joined us at the beginning of the week. Give us an update, fundraising, and they, of course, had a big march-a-thon last week and gave us an update there and talked about that and then talked about the fall season for the band and getting her up for competitions and performances and all that good stuff. So we had a great conversation with them. We'll play that for you next hour. And, of course, if you missed any part of our interview with Superintendent Brian Luck or any of our interviews, you can go back anytime to check them out at your leisure. Just go on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our videos there. You can also go to Roswell's Talk FM on YouTube and Facebook and find all of our interviews there as well. So don't worry if you missed a part. We record all that stuff. All right. It is closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News will be coming up next here. And we'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio. KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. There is a tentative deal to avoid a freight rail strike. It could be devastating to an already shaky U.S. economy, forcing it to take an estimated $2 billion hit. The strike had been threatened for tomorrow. President Biden's approval numbers have come up just a bit, but the economy remains his Achilles heel.
Back in July, support for the president tumbled to a dismal 36%, but a new AP NORC poll shows his job approval at 45%. The uptick comes just 2 months before the midterm elections. Mr. Biden's approval rating remains underwater, with 53% of U.S. adults disapproving of him. And with the country facing stubbornly high inflation, only 38% approve of the president's handling of the economy. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Several busloads of illegal aliens arrived this morning outside the official Washington residence of Vice President Harris, a gift from Texas Governor Greg Abbott, responding to Biden open border policies. Americans loosened the purse strings just a bit in August compared to the month before.
The Commerce Department says retail sales rose an unexpected 0.3% last month, following a 0.4% decline in July. Excluding business at gas stations, sales rose 0.8%. Sales at grocery stores rose 0.5%, helped by rising prices in food. Business at restaurants rose 1.1%, while online sales fell 0.7%.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House. Steady stream of mourners continuing to file past the casket of Queen Elizabeth II, London's Westminster Hall. Watching Wall Street, stocks now in positive territory. The Dow's up 126 points. The Nasdaq trading 36 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you or a family member lived or worked at the Camp Lejeune military base from 1953 to 1987 and developed health issues that required hospitalization or extended treatment as a result of drinking toxic water on base, then you may be eligible to file a claim. Call BD Law Group now at 800-292-2972 to see if you qualify for compensation. Those who lived and worked at Camp Lejeune have shown an increased risk for several types of cancers and other serious illnesses. Female infertility, leukemia, kidney cancer, birth defects, lung cancer. Veterans, their families, military personnel, and civilian workers call BD Law Group now at 800-292-2972 to see if you or your loved ones qualify for compensation. BD Law Group will never collect any fees unless we win compensation in your case. Call BD Law Group now at 800-292-2972. Call 800-292-2972.
Google is not off the hook in Europe.
One of the European Union's highest courts has largely upheld a huge fine issued to Google by the bloc's antitrust enforcers in 2018 over its Android mobile operating system. The European Court of Justice's General Court on Wednesday mostly confirmed a European Commission decision to slap Google with a fine of more than 4 billion euros for stifling competition through the dominance of Android. The court said it was appropriate to give Google a fine of 4.125 billion euros. Keith Peters reporting.
Chinese President Xi Jinping, Russia's Vladimir Putin, and leaders from India and Central Asia gathering in Uzbekistan for a summit of a security group formed by Beijing and Moscow as a counterweight to U.S. influence. The meeting of the 8-nation Shanghai Cooperation Organization is overshadowed by Putin's attack on Ukraine. News and analysis at townhall.com. General Motors not showcasing its electric Chevy Equinox SUV at the Detroit Auto Show.
Instead, it unveiled the Equinox 6 days earlier. GM's decision symbolized just how much smaller this year's auto show will be, with few name model debuts, less glitzy displays, fewer journalists, and possibly lower attendance. Though the pandemic is partly to blame, larger forces are at play too. Automakers have figured out that new models can make a bigger splash when they're unveiled to a digital audience on a day where they don't have to share the spotlight with their rivals. John Scott reporting.
California taking Amazon to court, accusing the company of violating the state's antitrust and unfair competition laws by stifling competition and engaging in practices that push sellers to maintain higher prices on products on other sites. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday. Welcome to it. Hope everything is going well for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sun's out.
Guns out.
Yeah. I don't see any clouds either, at least on my window view.
Not quite yet. Do we have any rain chance in the forecast today?
There is a slight chance this afternoon, like a 20%, but not significant.
Nothing too heavy.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Maybe that's what this is. Maybe, my back starts hurting like this whenever we're going to get some weather.
Could be.
Maybe my back's like other people's knees.
Storm's coming,
It's when I get the sciatic pain. You're getting a storm coming.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. First, you'd be hurting a lot in the last couple weeks.
Why is Sean writhing in pain on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, storm's coming. Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's a storm dance.
It's a storm writhe.
That's right.
The fetal position, corner of the room. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. It's nothing to be alarmed about. Move along. So
people one day will call me a forecaster.
So I watched the latest Thor movie, Love and Thunder. I finally seen it. I watched it. It's on Disney Plus now.
I want to, but I haven't watched any of the other Thor movies.
Oh,
like
okay.
any of them. I know a lot of the story of it, like Loki and all that, but
yeah.
I need to get into them.
Well, I started to watch it, or I did watch it, and I've seen it now, and it's an entertaining movie. Loved it. It was fine. It's what it is. But when did they make Thor kind of dumb?
See, here's the thing. I think that they've made Thor, like the Thor franchise, over the course of the run of the series.
Yeah.
It started with like the second one was kind of crazy, like the whole Ragnarok thing.
Yeah.
And then the third one was like a parody of the Thor movies in general.
Yeah.
I think this new one kind of goes in that same track.
I know what there's a I don't want to spoiler, but there's a female version of Thor in this one.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. It's just the way they make his character. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like they're giving him a personality, I guess. But he went from like being like the know-it-all, everything, to like now he's just saying dumb things.
One's got to imagine when you have a female character, you have to make the male character look dumber by comparison.
No. The dumb. Yeah, no. It's him. It's his character. He kind of the way this. It doesn't seem like the personality that they gave him in, say, the first movie.
Right.
It just looks a lot, and I'm sure it's some kind of creative license and to get the story going and all that. But it's just like they're just playing it on like he's an aloof god now. Like, oh, he's a god. He doesn't know the common. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it kind of, and I'm like,
he wasn't amongst us, so how he doesn't know all these things.
Maybe. And I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it. Probably I am.
He didn't have to trouble himself with things of this world because he was worried about things of his world.
Yeah, they just kind of, it's almost like they gave him a little bit of his character from Ghostbusters. You know how Hemsworth's he played in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the dumb receptionist.
Yeah, does this picture look me playing saxophone or listening to saxophone? It's like, you're like, okay, that's
just stand there and look hot.
They kind of rubbed some of that off on him, and I'm like, well, I don't know if that's a real good portrayal of the character, but all right.
I don't know if this is a fair assessment, but I've always kind of, and maybe this is just because I grew up, fat and funny.
Yeah.
I always felt like, when you're like an attractive person, you don't really have to get a personality. You know,
Right.
like hot dudes. I shouldn't say it like that, but attractive gentlemen.
Yeah.
They don't really have
It
to
works either
necessarily
way.
have to.
It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman.
And that's also not necessarily universally true.
Yeah.
Like, attractive dudes with a personality are like they're the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like I can't compete with that.
Well, my
whole thing is I'm funny.
In this world we live in, looks will get you farther than you think.
It will definitely get you farther than you think. Yeah.
It'll get you a lot farther than maybe it should.
Opens up opportunities.
Yeah.
Opportunities that weren't necessarily afforded to folks like, you or me.
Whereas, someone who's just intelligent, but maybe, not the most pleasing to look at, they're going to have to, convince people where the pretty people, they just roll in and everyone's got an automatic attention span to that person, and then you realize, okay, they don't know what they're talking about, or okay, maybe they do, but they get that foot in the door a lot easier than someone who doesn't look,
that's true. Doesn't
fit the beautiful people mold. So
aesthetics go a long way.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's a good movie. It's fine. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like they played up how like he's dumb in this one, and I didn't know if I agreed with that.
Well, and I wonder if this is like, because I've noticed with some of these Marvel franchises, they take more seriously than others. Like, for example, your Black Panther is a lot more serious of a story than, say, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. There's a lot more room for kind of playing around and frivolity in the Guardians.
They put Guardians in this one.
And same thing with Thor. Thor has kind of become their series where they can kind of play a little bit.
Sure.
I would say that they actually do that with a lot more franchises than they do the serious ones. Like Ant-Man is another great example of one that's not necessarily, that doesn't take itself too seriously.
Well, Marvel in general is like that.
Yeah.
Most of the Marvel series have that element of we're talking about superheroes here. And so I get that, but it just seemed like they were trying really hard to make the Thor some kind of dummy, and it just didn't sit well with me. So anyway, I just noticed. It's an observation.
I need to get caught up. I misspoke earlier. I've seen the first Thor, so I know the story. So I've seen the first one. I haven't seen any of the ones after that. So
well,
I need to get caught up.
Since you've seen that one, you're probably okay for this one, because things from that one, like love interests and things, come back in this one.
Okay.
So
it's almost like the last two were just not even necessary.
Well, I don't think this is
we're just retconning him.
I don't think this is a top secret, but his girlfriend in the first one, what's her name? Like Natalie Portman.
Right.
She's back in this one as female Thor. And rekindle the relationship kind of thing. That's kind of the backstory in all the movie here. So, but it's just those interactions and things. You're just kind of like, that doesn't seem Thor-like, but maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe they're trying to make him adorkable.
Well, in all fairness, like in the Avengers movies and all that, he's going through his little crises, and he's gaining weight and getting fat. And losing his home and all. And so they tell it so it's kind of like this is doing this to him, I guess. But I don't know. It just went from like this to him just saying stuff. It just, I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me. It just didn't seem right. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be curious to check it out. I mean, like I said, I feel like I do appreciate that Marvel doesn't take themselves seriously. I struggle to watch anything from DC.
Yeah.
Just because they're like so serious about everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where I liked it. I enjoyed it. And DC tries hard but doesn't. It's like their jokes fall flat. It's just like to be honest, I think DC is trying to play homage to the comic book side, and which I get. I mean, but I think they do it more than Marvel does. Like Marvel will let's just take the concept from the comic book,
right,
and then turn it into a movie.
Yeah, DC's more like the history of, and in fairness, DC has a lot of like history that they have to kind of pay homage to because they're if you look at like specifically DC, they're the ones from like when we were growing up, our generation were like the big heavy hitter superheroes. Your Superman, your Batman, your Wonder Woman, the ones that were like the heavy hitters from like our generation.
Right.
Cut to the 90s sort of became like the Marvel generation because X-Men took off, Spider-Man took off, and those became like the franchise for like the new generation or whatever. So I almost feel like DC Comics have like an expectation on their shoulders, like they have to placate to a certain demographic.
Yeah. Well, Marvel just had different superheroes.
They did, yeah.
That were like the 90s, and it was because Marvel held on to their properties with the exception of they sold off
Fantastic Four and Superman.
Yeah, to Sony.
X-Men, yeah.
But when, they kind of locked down, and so Captain America was always a tentpole character for Marvel, as was, not so much. I mean, Iron Man in the comic books, but he didn't get popular to the movie.
They sort of like made their characters a bigger deal because, like I said, Batman, Superman, those were like for generations. Those were like the superheroes.
Sure, the one seeds, Superman,
and then
all
like
these.
In the 90s, and I largely blame like Fox Animation for this, but with Batman, the new the animated series, they did the Spider-Man animated series, the X-Men animated series. That sort of like launched them and kind of like made them a household name again, which it was actually the perfect timing because in the mid 90s they were going bankrupt.
Yeah,
like they were about to shut the company down.
Right. Well, I don't know. I just think I think DC got the advantage of getting mainstream faster,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. So is that a guess?
I was wondering, do you have a guess this hour?
It might be our city. It might be Juanita. Now that I think about it, is that what do I got there?
Let's find out.
Tell me.
Oh yeah, the slow walking guy.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, will be joining us here in just a few. Give us an update. I don't know. Maybe it's because my age, but like the Captain America were a big deal, but not. They didn't get TV time like the DC guys did. Now it's flipped. But anyway, Thor was fine if you liked it. So, Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, join us here in just a bit. What's up, Roy? Oh, I thought you had something you wanted to say. Oh, okay. Yeah. So she'll join us here in just a bit, get us an update from the city. And have you seen the Thor movie, the Love and Thunder?
No.
It's all right.
No,
it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah. No, after what was it? The Doctor Strange 2. I think
I have not seen that one yet. That I have not seen. I've not seen the more recent Doctor Strange movie. I guess I need to go watch that too.
Yeah,
I haven't watched
that one kind of showed me that they're running out of ideas.
And I haven't watched She-Hulk on there either because that's a TV series. So maybe I need to check that out too. But I just haven't gotten around. I wanted to see the Thor because I kind of like the last Thor movie. And
did you like it?
I did, but they kind of make Thor dumb, and I didn't know if I like that.
That's why I didn't like Ragnarok either. It was just a big
yeah. Well, I think he's even
comedy
more,
fest.
Yeah. Well, it's got that elements too, and it's put it this way: if you're a fan of Guns N' Roses, you're gonna love Thor: Love and Thunder because the entire soundtrack almost exclusively is Guns N' Roses.
Oh, okay.
There's one or two other songs of the era, but most of it's 99.9% of it's Guns N' Roses.
Right.
So just a warning: if you're not a Guns N' Roses fan, you're probably not gonna like this movie. It's gonna annoy you, but if you do, you're gonna like the music.
Yeah, the Paradise City not Paradise.
Oh,
Sweet
it's all
Child
of
of Mine was in
all
the
of them
trailer.
are in there. Yeah, they're all in there. Just about every Guns N' Roses song that was popular in that time gets played during this movie at some point or another. So even November Rain to everything else. So it's all there. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but She-Hulk I'm hearing bad stuff about that now, and like everything except for Spider-Man was, I was kind of disappointed in.
Well, and I don't know the She-Hulk thing. I know of it. I know the comics, and I know the character's like a lawyer and all that. But like when they turn to Hulk, Hulk is like you can't really talk with Hulk once Hulk's Hulk. You know what I mean? I mean, you can get him little simple things, but you can't have a conversation per se with Hulk. And it seems like the She-Hulk you can, and I'm kind of like seems like a double standard to me. I don't know, but maybe not. I'm not speaking from experience. I have not watched the show yet, so maybe I need to watch it before I say.
Well, that was in the
anything,
comics too. But
well, it seems like why are they gonna make She-Hulk when she's a Hulk, like an intellect, where the dude Hulk, who's Hulk, is Hulk smash and just runs around and beating things up. I mean, I feel like
now this Hulk's talking smart.
A little. Not really. I don't know.
Like after Endgame, he put his smart brain in the Hulk body or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they have some explaining I missed. I missed a loop in there. But anyway.
In my opinion, the Russo brothers, they carried the whole MCU franchise. Yeah. Because after they made Civil War, Winter Soldier, Endgame, Infinity War. They made all those. And after they left with Endgame, I think the whole thing has spiraled out of control.
Well, I watched Love and Thunder. It was all right. It sticks to the other ones, and it's got two end credit scenes, one in the middle and one at the end. So you see Valhalla at the end.
Oh, okay.
So spoiler alert. You want to see what Valhalla is, you see it at the end there.
I'm sure they're going to do something cool with that.
Yeah. All right, it is 8:20. Let's go ahead and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like all the moist air has moved out of our state for a while, so things look pretty good today. We'll have sunshine warming up to the mid-90s and a little bit breezy. Overnight it'll be clear down to the mid-60s, and then we're expecting mid-90s again on Friday with sunshine. Looks like we'll stay pretty warm and dry through the weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let's see here. Currently, I had something else up. My apologies. Currently, 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 81%. Winds currently out of the west at 3 miles per hour. We do have a 20% chance of showers for this afternoon, otherwise sunny, and a high of 91 with south winds 5 to 10. Mostly clear. Overnight low of 63 with south winds 5 to 15. Friday, sunny skies and a high of 94. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 65 with south winds 10 to 15. And then looking at the weekend, sunny on Saturday with a high of 95. South winds 10 to 15. Sunny on Sunday as well with a high of 94. All right, it is 22 minutes after 8. We're going to take about a 3-minute break. And then Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, will join us up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. And Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
Now through September 18th, buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of in-stock Nexen or Aspen GTAS tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price, not to exceed $35 where permitted.
For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907. Or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
The Goddard Rockets are taking flight yet again, and this Friday night they land in Farmington to take on the Panthers of Piedra Vista High. Fiera 106.1 FM is making the trip for you so you don't have to. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the Rocket pregame show beginning at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Panthers of Piedra Vista High. Friday starting at 6:45 on Fiera 106.1 FM. Audio-only coverage online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, Juanita Jennings, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Keeping things are busy. Stuff's happening. And
lots.
Busy weekends in the city and lots of stuff going on. So if you're saying there's nothing to do, it's kind of your fault. So.
Yeah, please go to our website because there's so much to do. So much to do.
Yeah, every weekend there seems to be things going on and things just to go. I know as we're kind of shifting gears into the fall lineup here.
Right.
So things like splash pads are going to start closing down and things. But But now we're gearing up into fall activities from the recreation center to the zoo to the adult center and all points museum, all points in between.
Yes.
So
lots of things happening.
Good deal. So I guess we'll start at the beginning.
Let's start with this weekend.
Okay.
So this weekend we have the Roswell Museum Taste of Italy fundraiser brought to us by the Roswell Museum Foundation.
Okay.
There are some tickets that are still available. If you are interested, I recommend getting them today.
The later you wait, the more likelihood it's going to be sold out.
Yes.
So.
I know that the general admission tickets are sold out and they only have some VIP tickets available. They're $150.
Okay.
It's Saturday night, the 17th. It's going to be at the Roswell Convention Center.
Okay.
There's dancing, food. The food is amazing.
I'm assuming Italian.
Italian, yes. And I believe there's tiramisu and just some really great things happening. There's going to be a silent auction and a live auction.
Okay.
So I think it'll be a really fun date night. Go and have a good time and support the arts here in our community.
Yeah, a little pasta, a little bit of, dinner and maybe some celebrating and of course support the auction, everything, and support the museum.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's a fundraising event for the museum itself for its programs and exhibits there.
Yes,
so,
definitely. And then we're gearing up. They'll get a sneak peek, but I'll share it with you today. We're gearing up for the Art and Science Festival that will be happening at the Roswell Museum mid-October. So if you are a business and you're interested in participating, please reach out to us. We're happy to assist you not only with that one, but also so many fall different events coming up. October is a busy month for us. We have Oktoberfest at the zoo that we had a date change. It'll be October 15th.
Okay.
So it's our fundraiser for Spring River Zoo.
Excellent.
Breweries, I think 1 or 2 distilleries that will be out there this time around. And your ticket gets you samples throughout the evening. And then just, again, another great night trying to provide a little bit of nightlife to the Roswell community with these fundraisers and activities as we look at enrichment services.
And and generally what they do at these events too is if you're the DD, they always offer a special for you where obviously you don't get alcoholic drinks, but you get
free sodas
water, and things, and plus there'll be lots of food samplings and things for you to check out and enjoy and try too. So
we'll have some food trucks there if you want to buy some food, and just again a variety of breweries. Both the museum and the zoo, they're part of our enrichment services, and so these are our big fundraisers that go back to support our mission of providing a great attraction for the visitors of Roswell and also our Roswell community. So a lot of the proceeds that we fundraise through these programs go right back into both of those facilities. So for the museum, obviously, we are raising funds for our expansion of their gift shop and the children's area and the entrance. And then for the zoo, we're raising funds for the farmland experience brought to us by Leprino.
Nice.
And then, of course, just updating some of our animal enclosures, the facilities, right? So
well, anytime you get, especially your larger animals out there, your mountain lions and bears and things like that, their needs are greater and their environment, and so you constantly have to be kind of expanding and evolving that to make it a more suitable place for the larger animals too. So this money will help towards making those the bear and lion facilities more friendly for those
Absolutely.
animals. So.
And we've been on that mission for a while now. I think this community has really said, yes, we want to have a zoo. We are here to support you, and we appreciate that because we have seen the progress that has been made over the last, I would say, 18 months, 2 years. If you come out to the zoo, you're going to see a brand new mountain lion exhibit that was funded through the generosity of our community, right? Lots of local individuals and some community partners that said, I believe in what the mission of the zoo is, and so I'm going to give my hard-earned money and donate to the Spring River Zoo. And so that's no different. We're working on the bear exhibit right now, which is really great. And then also we have a pond that needs a lot of funding to make it a safe place for people to fish. The embankment needs some work. And then also, obviously, the pond water and well and all of that system. And then the entrance, the Leprino farmland, we want to have that tie back to our agricultural roots of who we are and why, we're here in Roswell. And so having that money raised for those projects is really, really important. So,
and I'd mentioned this actually yesterday when we were talking Chili Cheese Festival and all that stuff. But when we talk about Leprino and that agricultural role, and you don't realize how much of a circular thing that is, where, you have the cheese factory here in town, and obviously the dairies, many of them support the by giving milk to that dairy. But it's a reciprocal, whereas some of the waters and things that come from what they're doing, making the cheese and the whey and all those products that they make out there, that water gets turned back into basically for the agriculture. And so the alfalfa and stuff that the cows eat to make the milk, Leprino, the water and stuff, a lot of that goes to watering those crops. So it's really a circular deal where Leprino's part of that equation, where they're doing their part, by utilizing these products, but at the same time giving back by providing nourishment for the food that provides to the cow. So it's really a neat little circle.
Full circle, right? And that is exactly what the Leprino Farmland experience will be like once it is opened at the zoo. It'll be that educational opportunity to talk about agriculture, farming, ranching, and the whole circle of life, farm to table, things like that. And so we are very excited. The city council just passed the contract for the company that will do the design work, and we'll be having community meetings to get community input of what does that building and that structure look like? What are the things that are really important? Is it a milking station? Is it, where small animals and, baby goats and baby pigs and things like that, more hands-on learning environment. So we'd love to hear from you. I'll bring more information as that pans out, as we're very excited. They just approved that.
But either way, come and participate in Oktoberfest. And of course, everything that happens in museum as well too. It's they're not doing animal pens over there, but it's for the next exhibits for inspiring local artists. It's a lot of the same kind of work, just instead of animals, it's art and people.
Absolutely. And both need community support and funding. So we appreciate that. Oktoberfest tickets, they're on sale right now. In the years past, it's been a while since we've been able to have it because of COVID. So I highly encourage you, go online, get your tickets early. We did have a sold out, and we had a wait list, and then we had to turn people away the last time we were able to have it. So don't wait to the last minute. Go online, springriverzoo.com, and get your tickets to Oktoberfest.
Just a quick curiosity for vendor side. Is there still room for, if there's any breweries or anything that want to still get in on it?
Yes.
Is there? Okay.
Yes. I believe you have until the end of this month, which is September 30th. You'll want to contact Kelly Smith. She is the president of the Friends of Spring River. Either her or I believe the vice chair is Carrie Moore.
Okay.
Contact one of those ladies. If their information is on our website, springriverzoo.com, and they can get you connected and set up.
Excellent. Yeah. So come on out. And of course, if you are a brewery or thing and want to say, hey, I love the zoo and I love to promote my business, come on out.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are a business, it's a good segue. We are having another fundraiser, so not really focused on the adults, but really focused on the kids, and it's Night of the Living Zoo.
Yeah.
And so that's the zoo's own fundraiser that we put together. We have over 20 businesses that are going to partake in it. Our police department, fire department,
civic organizations too.
Civic organizations. If you want to get your message out there and provide a safe, fun trick-or-treating experience for this community, please reach out to us. We're still looking for sponsors. We're working on a haunted house for the teens because we do focus on the younger kids.
The kid side of Halloween.
But we also recognize we have teens in this community, and we did a haunted house about 2 years ago. Again, just kind of getting out of all the COVID stuff and reopening all of our fun events and activities. So if you're interested in helping out with that, give us a call. 575-624-6700, and we'll get you hooked up.
Very good. So. Excellent. But yeah, lots happening here.
Yeah.
Reach out. Don't forget the city's website, RoswellConnect.com.
Yes.
I always get the orgs and comms mixed up. .com. That is your kind of
where you buy your tickets.
Yeah, you buy your tickets, but it's also your source for the recreational side of Roswell, whether it's the aquatic center or the zoo or the museum. if you want to get passes or tickets or just want information about any of these different entities, RoswellConnect.com is your best resource for that kind of thing. So just kind of bookmark it or keep it in your list of favorites when you're looking for things to do. That way you can go there and kind of see, if there's upcoming events and things, it'll tell you all about it. But get your tickets, get everything you need for it. So,
absolutely. We have, oh my goodness, I just got a notification. Taste of Italy is now sold out.
It's official.
Sorry.
Okay.
It is official. As of
you may have
yesterday.
sold the last one just now. They said, let me call right now.
So thank you, Roswell community, for supporting the Roswell Museum. But it is now sold out. I just saw it come through.
Okay.
But there's still opportunity for Brew at the Zoo. You can partake with that. And of course, the museum is always looking for donors. So.
Absolutely. So
we'll have more activities coming. Our 85th birthday is coming up on October 6th.
Nice.
We're going to have some fun stuff in store for that and a dedication in December because 85 years ago, that's how they did it. So
nice.
We're working on that. Lots of things in public affairs that we're working on. And then the other thing, speaking of RoswellConnect.com, the Roswell Adult Center, we are expanding our hours. Yay. We have staffing, which is really great.
Post-COVID world, we're getting more people back and able to offer more amenities and services.
So 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings, we will have a beginning yoga class.
Okay.
We are going to have some social media training, how to use Facebook, how to use Instagram, how to use the website for some of our older adults.
Okay.
So 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. The city council also just passed new recreation fees. So those will take effect January 1st. And so we'll have more information on that coming out, but definitely want to make sure that you are aware of all of the fun activities that are happening at the Roswell Adult Center. So a beginning yoga, an advanced yoga, we have step aerobics that are available. And then we have, how do you use a computer? We also have a self-defense class that is coming up for adults 18 plus. That is a really, really, really great class. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays from about 5:30 to 6:30. So it's 1 hour long. And it just, let's be safe in our community. We also will have an intro to photography class and then line dancing, of course. So take advantage of those opportunities. The cost to participate is very minimal, and we'd love to see you out at the Roswell Adult Center. So join us on Saturday mornings, and then, of course, just our normal operating hours of 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So before, we were only open till 5, and so we're shifting our times to be more accommodating to the community, to those individuals that work. And then now we actually have staff to be open. And so we're really grateful for that.
Absolutely. And don't forget that, when we talk about things like the Adult Center, these are community centers. They're kind of they really want your input in that. So if you're wanting to see things at the Adult Center and you're like, man, I wish they'd have a workshop on whatever.
Right.
Excuse me. Reach out to them, and maybe you might be the one that helps organize and put it together. But if you have an interest in something that you think others in the community would have an interest in, please reach out to the Adult Center. They're always looking for those kind of partnerships and community because at the end of the day, they're there to meet the needs of the community. And if the community wants badminton tournaments, whatever it is we're talking about, then they're going to work to make that happen because that's what the public wants. So if you have those kind of ideas, please talk to them, reach out, work with them, and just don't walk in and say, hey, we should do that. Actually, engage and talk about it, and let's see if we can actually put something in play here.
Right. And if you have a skill or a talent that you would love to share with this community, we are always hiring instructors to do these different classes. We talked about programming, and we're trying to do more programming to provide that service to this community because that's who we are. We are public servants to this community. And so we need to know, what do you want to see? But also, if you have a skill or a talent that you'd like to share, we'd love to look at maybe hiring you as an instructor for a 6-week course or a 10-week course or something like that. So come on out. Speaking of getting public input, last but not least, I got 2 more things. We are having our public forum.
Yes, it's coming up.
Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. at the Roswell Convention Center. This month's topic is on community development.
Okay.
So a post went out yesterday.
Same wheelhouse here. Yeah.
Same wheelhouse, community development. What do you want to see? What businesses? What kind of jobs, program, housing, permits, garage sales, things like that. So we have a survey out on our website, roswell-nm.gov, also on our Facebook page, targeting questions that you want answered by our community development department. So you'll hear from code enforcement, Toby Franco will be there, our property technician, Todd Versillo, and then of course our community development director, Kevin Mavers.
Okay.
And so if you have any questions that you specifically would like to have answered, please go online, fill our survey. The way that we have done the forums in the past, COVID was a little different because we had to do it all live streaming. We're going back to a live studio audience. So we will try to answer all of the questions that are taken online and have that presentation. And then if time permits, it got a little hectic last month because we're trying to take questions from Facebook, trying to take questions from the Instagram, trying to take questions from the
different angles was coming from
live audience. So we really want to focus on that survey, getting the questions from there. And then if time permits, we want to try to keep it an hour. People start getting wiggly at about an hour and a half sitting. We'll try to get questions from the live audience as well. But please take some time, fill out the survey. It's 5 questions, 6 questions, what's most important to you regarding community development and what would you like to see here in Roswell? How do you want us to continue to move forward in progress? So.
Absolutely. Everyone's got opinions on things and you always hear it all the time. You see it on social media and everything. Yeah. This is your chance to put where rubber meets the road and actually get your ideas and questions to people that actually can impact the actual change you're hoping to see or wanting to add. So please participate in this forum, whether it's, through social media or in person.
Yep.
Please reach out, get out. And even if you just want to listen and hear, please do so. But if you do have input, things you want to, please go through and this is your pulpit. This is your forum to do that. So please utilize it.
Yes, please do. So Tuesday, September 20th, 5:30 p.m. at the Roswell Convention Center. It'll last about 1 hour. We invite you to come out. And speaking of Roswell Convention Center, my last thing that I'd love to share with this community is if you have a business and you're looking for a holiday event location, we are filling up quickly. So
sooner, again, it's kind of like the...
don't wait.
Yeah, Tour of Italy night. There's not a lot left. That one's officially done, but we didn't get to the interview on that one finishing. And but like you said, there's very limited dates available left for the holiday season right now at the convention center. You're already going to probably have a little bit of issue if you're looking for a very specific date or time. If you're a little more flexible, they've got options for you. But we're at the point where if you're very picky on that, you better get in there now because we can't guarantee you'll get the time you want.
Yes. So please hurry. Roswell-nm.gov. Click on Convention Center. And
these are all good problems to have, by the way.
They're very good problems to have. But it's so funny. So we were talking about, I always prep before I come on your show to make sure I've, covered all the bases. I'm giving love to all of my departments. So everybody's included. And they said, taste of it. Oh, we still have only VIP tables. And then I love getting the messages. No, it's sold out. So
don't say nothing.
Don't say anything. So that's really great. And again, just, the support of the community. We do appreciate that. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Roswell.
Absolutely. Do also want to remind folks, I know you've probably been seeing stuff on social media and stuff about water bills. And the city is, last week they started back shutting off water for folks that aren't current on their water bill. The grace period for COVID has now come to an end. If you have not made those arrangements yet and you still have water, you better make those arrangements because that will be cut off soon. And I did see a report yesterday, and I just want to remind folks.
Illegal turning on.
People have been going back and turning on their water, going to the valve and turning it back on. Just be known, if you get caught, they will prosecute you for that. And they will, basically what I mean by prosecuting is they're going to shut it off at a different thing, and then you're going to have to, and to take your meter, and at some point you're going to have to pay a bunch of money to get that back. So yeah, you're not going to be, what are you in jail for? Turning my water back on. No, you're not going. But what's going to happen is it's going to get very expensive for you down the road to get water back. So please don't try to cut your water back on. Call the water department. they are working with people. They're
Mhm.
working. They understand. I can't afford my
Mhm.
bill right now. They're
Yes.
working payment plans. They'll work with you to get your water back on. But if you don't reach out and work with them, you're going to be out of luck. So the onus is on you to get with the city and make those arrangements to get current with your water bill, so that they don't shut off your water, or they'll turn your water back on for you.
Yes, and our water billing department, so they're 8:30 to 4:30 every day. Like you said, they are willing to work with you. A no interest payment plan can be set up. If it's $10, $20, they're here to help you and be that resource. Just give them a call, 575-624-6700.
Yeah.
There's various ways you could pay your water bill. By the mailbox that's designed. It looks like water. In person, if you are behind, you do have to go in person and set up that payment plan. You can call them to make a payment, and then you can also pay online, but it is best to go into the water billing department and speak to our customer service representatives.
Yeah, especially if you've got a lot of logistics to work out there.
Correct. Yes.
Face-to-face might be more beneficial for all parties involved there. But
Yes.
But if you're just wanting to pay a bill or something simple like that, you can do it over the phone, or online.
Absolutely.
Roswell-nm.gov is the kind of the services side, as far as government side of the city for website stuff. So if you want information about your city councilors or your water bill or any of those city services like that, Roswell-nm.gov, that's your resource. But anything recreation related, it's RoswellConnect.com.
Yes.
So if you want to know, you want to get tickets to Oktoberfest, go to RoswellConnect.com.
Yeah.
If you want to know about your water bill or want to send an email to your city councilor, then you go to Roswell-nm.gov.
And we have a new one, too, for animal services, which is 24-hour Pet Connect, right?
Okay.
So we have all these different URLs, but they're all under the umbrella of Roswell-nm.gov. So if you're looking, we say adopt, don't shop. The holiday season is coming. We have lots of animals at the Roswell Animal Service Center where take it home, but be a responsible pet owner. Know that these animals, they need food, they need water, they need medical. Yes, they're cute and cuddly, the young ones, but we also have some older dogs and cats that need the love and care too. But
Those
it
are
is a
harder to adopt.
responsibility.
Yeah.
It is.
They
It
are
is
a little harder
harder
to adopt. But and also, while we're talking that real quick, just to let you know, the city of Roswell has ordinances about spay and neuter and microchipping your pets.
Yes.
It does not matter if you don't live in the city of Roswell. If you adopt a pet from the city of Roswell or any entity within the city of Roswell, so like like the Humane Society and your nonprofits, they will have to be microchipped and spayed or neutered, even if you don't live in city limits. But because you're adopting from the city or through the city or in the city, you have to abide by the ordinances that the city has issued. So, and we do have an ordinance for that. So even if you live out in the county, you're like, I don't need my dog microchipped. You will if you're going to adopt it from the
city.
Animal Control or Humane Society or any place in the city limits like that.
Yes.
So.
And did you know, so we're working on a Did You Know campaign for animal services. We're doing some videos, hopefully to educate our community on the do's and don'ts of pet ownership and working with animal services. And one of the things that I found very interesting as we're looking at the ordinances, how do we communicate and how do we convey that? That's part of public affairs, what we have to do. You know, you're only allowed 5 total animals within the city limits.
I knew it was a number.
So,
I didn't know the number, but I knew the number.
5. It's either, 2 cats and 3 dogs or 4 cats and 1 dog or total of 5 cats. Yeah. And so, be responsible and be respectful.
Well, that's the thing. It's respectful. It's like, yeah, you're loving, and we get that. But if you have a wolf pack of dogs or whatever that's also residing, that's not always the most considerate thing for neighbors and things that also live and call this place home. So being considerate of that. And you know what? Some people maybe have 8 dogs, and you would never know. And good for you, but most times that's not true. So that's why they have that.
And that's where that's the other side of animal services. They do have to go into homes. There was one case, they had over 50 animals and there was feces everywhere and urine. Yeah. Obviously, that's not a good, safe living environment for kids.
And that reeks of mental health problems
adults.
And all kinds of stuff.
So,
that is a symptom of a much bigger issue that's going on right there.
Absolutely. So, yes.
So, but please, this is why these are in place. Please abide by that. And I get it. Yeah, there's some pet lovers that are, they could easily handle that and all that. But you're the exception, not the rule for the most part.
Right.
So we need to protect for because it's also not good for those pets.
No.
You don't want 80 pets in one household. That's a health hazard waiting to happen.
Cleanup.
Yeah. Not to mention for the people, but the
And
pets.
very expensive.
They're all probably sick, and Lord knows what other issues are going on there. So it is a health and safety issue. It really is. That's why it's that way.
Yes.
We get people love animals and want to. I get it. I'm an animal lover myself. I love my dogs and cats and everything I've had over the years.
Yes.
But there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. It's like you love kids. You don't have 70 of them.
Oh my goodness, no. But yes, 24petconnect.com. Check them out. It's updated with all of the animals that are available.
Cool.
So if you don't see that animal on there, it means it's not available.
It means it found a home.
Found a home.
Good deal. And don't forget, we were talking Roswell Connect, the website. Don't forget about the app you can download as well.
Our visit widget.
Yeah, that way you can stay up to date on what's happening around town with everything from not just citywide events, but community businesses and other things that have events planned and things going on too. So it's a great little resource.
We love it because we can track where the visitors are coming from and what they are doing.
Yeah.
We have a scavenger hunt to go into some of our local downtown businesses. And if they go on the app and they check in, it's very easy. They click a button just saying, hey, I'm here. They come back to the visitor center, and we give them a small token of appreciation for visiting our local businesses here in Roswell.
If you're out and about this weekend for Piñata Fest or Chili Cheese Festival next weekend or Farmers Market, open that app up while you're downtown here and see what other cool stuff you can get
there's a
into.
hidden history tour and just lots of fun stuff. So
Absolutely. So good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I don't think so. I think that's a lot for right now.
It is it's a bevy of information. But again, if you missed anything we talked about, the two websites we'd mentioned earlier, RoswellConnect.com for anything recreation, Roswell-NM.gov for other stuff.
Yes.
Don't forget the City of Roswell's on social media, Facebook, like and follow. Those are great ways to stay up to date. And don't forget that app too, the Connect widget there to do all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So, good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am, as always.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
the visit. We'll see you here in a few more weeks, I guess, or a month officially.
A month. Yeah. Make sure third Thursday.
Third Thursday. I've got to remind myself as well. Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, it is 8:53. Let's go ahead and get you the news. Quick break before, more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. As autumn officially begins, the splash pads at Pocorn Park and Carpenter Park in Roswell will wrap up their summer season on September 25th. The city's 2 splash pads will operate for their final day of the year that day before closing until next year. The splash pads are open daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Meanwhile, the indoor pool at the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center offers swimming opportunities. The center's outdoor pool has closed for the season. Also in Roswell, a second community forum will focus on community development. The meeting on Tuesday, September 20th at the Roswell Convention Center. The meeting at 5:30. It will also be broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. Deputy City Manager Mike Matthews will host the meeting. Presentations will be made and questions will be answered by a panel made up of Community Development Director Kevin Mavers, Code Enforcement Supervisor Toby Franco, and Real Property Division Representative Todd Versiglio. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Your weather forecast is brought to you by Do Right Roofing. For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today. 623-2273. That's 623-2273.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like all the moist air has moved out of our state for a while, so things look pretty good today. We'll have sunshine warming up to the mid-90s and a little bit breezy. Overnight it'll be clear down to the mid-60s, and then we're expecting mid-90s again on Friday with sunshine. Looks like we'll stay pretty warm and dry through the weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The country is bracing for the possibility of a nationwide rail strike at the end of the week, while talks continue between the largest U.S. freight railroads and their unions. The railroads have already started to curtail shipments of hazardous materials and have announced plans to stop hauling refrigerated products ahead of Friday's strike deadline. Amtrak said it will temporarily cancel all of its long-distance trains starting on Thursday because of the potential freight rail work stoppage. Amtrak operates on track owned, maintained, and dispatched by freight railroads. Wells Fargo said it would commission a third-party racial equity audit that will include inputs from both internal and external stakeholders as the bank pushes to boost diversity. The move follows questions about its hiring and diversity policies. The investigation could take a year. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Those lyrics were written by a former slave captain who found God and dedicated the rest of his life to preaching the gospel. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrow like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Those lyrics were written by a man as he sailed past the point where most of his family perished when their ship sank. A hymn of praise states this: O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art. The songs of the church tell of God's saving grace, but also give healing and peace during the most difficult of times. We gain encouragement and encourage others as we share the songs of faith and praise.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Hey, Mark.
Morning, Sam.
Having the house remodeled?
Nah, I got termites, and they're chewing the place up.
Welcome to the neighborhood. I've got them too.
Really?
Yeah, just had a termite treatment put in.
You did? I didn't see a lot of digging around your house.
That's because I went with the Centricon termite colony elimination system. It's a lot easier to install than what you're doing. They just place bait stations around the house, and then the termites share the bait with each other until the colony is gone. No digging, no chemical solution, just simple protection that's environmentally responsible.
Wow.
Yeah, I even got a green chemistry award from the EPA.
Centricon, huh? I'll be right back.
Hey, where you going?
Tell these guys to stop digging. I'm getting Centricon.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Exciting news from Richland Motors on West 2nd and Roswell. Here's Richland sales manager Freddie Souza to tell you all about it.
Hey, Freddie Souza here, and our lot is finally full. We have both new and used vehicles with a wide variety to choose from. Whether you want economical or top of the line, we have it. And something we haven't seen in nearly 2 years, a large selection of brand new trucks straight from the factory. And Richland Motors is one of the only dealerships with zero markup on new trucks. So hurry in today to Richland because we're not sure how long they'll last.
Make your way to Richland on West 2nd and Roswell for your next vehicle. Se habla español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning. It is 8:59. Town Hall News coming up here in a little less than a minute. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15 or so, Terry Delgado with New Mexico Senior Olympics going to join us. They've got an event coming up on September 20th. This month is National Falls Prevention Awareness Week, I should say, is coming up here. And so they've got an event to help folks, seniors. It's going to be helps with topics of stretching, flexibility. Plus, there's going to be free health screenings and flu shots and free gifts and lunch and all kinds of stuff. So Terry's going to tell us all about that next hour. And then, of course, give us an update on Senior Olympics and things for folks that maybe want to be competing in the next Olympics and things like that. So we'll get all that from Terry next hour. But Town Hall News up next. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Apparently, there will not be a freight rail strike tomorrow after all. There is word of a tentative agreement to avert a walkout. Correspondent Donna Warder says that a strike would have had a devastating impact on the already struggling U.S. economy.
Members of the Business Roundtable, a Washington-based group that represents CEOs, issued its quarterly outlook for the economy Wednesday, saying that supply chain problems that have existed since the pandemic would be geometrically magnified.
And it's estimated the walkout would have cost the U.S. economy at least $2 billion. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has sent a couple of plane loads of illegal immigrants north to the liberal enclave of Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Spokesman for the Republican governor says it's part of the state's program of sending migrants to so-called sanctuary destinations. A judge puts an Ohio pro-life law on hold for now.
It prohibits most abortions after the first detectable fetal heartbeat. Cardiac activity can be detected as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy before many people know they're pregnant. Ohio's law went into effect after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the Roe v. Wade decision in June. But the judge's action means abortions through 20 weeks gestation may resume for now, as was the case before the ban went into effect. Abortion providers represented by the ACLU of Ohio are seeking to permanently block the law. I'm Ben Thomas.
A tennis great calling it a career. Roger Federer is retiring from professional tennis at the age of 41. Retirement comes after a series of knee operations, closing a career in which he won 20 Grand Slam titles, finishing 5 seasons ranked number 1. Wall Street, the Dow down 50 points. The Nasdaq is off 161. The S&P 33 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon 2 factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
With monkeypox cases on the decline in the U.S. and Europe, many scientists say now is the time to prioritize stopping the virus in Africa.
In July, the World Health Organization designated monkeypox as a global emergency and appealed to rich countries to support Africa so that the vaccine inequity that plagued COVID would not be repeated. But as rich countries rushed to buy nearly all the world's supply of monkeypox vaccine, none have shared those vaccines or treatments with Africa. Since the 1970s, the virus has sickened people in parts of West and Central Africa, but it wasn't until the disease triggered unusual outbreaks in Europe and North America that public health officials even thought to use vaccines. I'm Julie Walker.
Armenia and Azerbaijan have negotiated a ceasefire, ending a flare-up of fighting that has killed 155 soldiers from both sides. News and analysis at townhall.com. If you chatted with friends about the 2020 election via Facebook Messenger, Big Brother may have been listening in.
According to the New York Post, sources within the Justice Department say that Facebook has been reading the private messages of Americans and reporting them to the FBI if they contain anti-government content or question the 2020 election. One source said without a subpoena or probable cause, a Facebook employee flagged messages over 19 months' time and then passed them on to the Domestic Terrorism Operational Unit at FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. Tasha Stevens reporting.
During the first 2 years of the pandemic, the number of people working from home tripled. Home values grew, and the percentage of people who spend more than a third of their income on rent went up. That, according to a newly released survey by the U.S. Census Bureau. Again, on Wall Street, the Dow down 28 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The out the witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
I love spam texts. Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris in Vierne House.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Yeah, right as I was about to go on, I got a text. And I'm getting texts from everybody from, let's see, this one. No, this is a generic one.
I've been getting
Sometimes I get them from Rick from Pawn Stars. Sometimes I get them from Dr. Oz. I get them from all kind of people. I don't even know how I get them. I didn't subscribe to any of these.
No.
They just showed up.
You don't almost don't have to. It's politics season, so you're going to get a bunch of those.
Yeah, but I don't get on those lists.
Right.
For a reason.
I had to get a loan once a while back, and I got it from a company I found on the internet. The problem with that is I've got nothing like nonstop spam texts, spam emails, and spam calls ever since.
Yeah.
Like non-stop. Apparently, someone out there is very concerned about the time I spent at Camp Lejeune.
Oh yeah, that's a big one now because there's a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, the whole.
Every lawyer in the country's now trying to.
I can assure you, I spent very, very little time at Camp Lejeune. So little, in fact.
In the 80s, you weren't there.
It doesn't even apply.
They weren't in the Camp Lejeune in the 70s and 80s.
Such little time.
Yeah, they. But the thing is, it kind of gets me, and I wonder is, because I'm, and there's certain days in the last where I'm getting a dozen of these a day, and I have things to block this kind of stuff and all that, and apparently they worked around those, but my whole logic is, how much money do they spend on this, and what kind of return on investment do they get from that? I mean,
you can't imagine that.
In reality, it seems like an incredible waste of campaign funds.
I would agree with you to a point.
I just feel like
here's the thing:
at best, you're converting 1 or 2 people, 1 or 2%.
But it costs very little to send out, to buy a block of numbers from some random company, whoever it happens to be, Cambridge Analytics, whatever. And to buy that block of numbers of people and just send out an email blast. It costs very little money. And then if they get, say, a 0.01% return on investment, that's still significant if they send it out to 50 million people.
Well, let me ask you this. What's the negative impact? Because I got to believe that if I'm getting inundated with enough of this garbage, at some point I question the sincerity of their cause. It's like, are you really trying to do this, or are you just trying to spam me to death?
It depends on.
I don't like the tactic.
It depends on how petty one is, because
I'm pretty petty.
Fair enough. I've been, very upset, infuriated about certain things, but when I go to the poll, a lot of the times those things are the furthest things from my mind. Like, I don't instantly say, what kind of grudges do I have? What axes do I got to grind?
Well, it's not such a grudge per se. I'm just like, to me, it's a tactic used by people of lesser character. So I question your character if you think this is a good tactic to do it, because I don't think harassment is a character quality that one wants. And to me, it seems like harassment.
I feel like if they sharpened their demographic a little bit, it would be more effective. I feel like if they would target it towards the older sect.
Well, see, I don't
folks
know.
who
they may do that.
You're not quite there. Folks who.
Thank you, but I feel like it.
I'm talking about like folks who, like, when you hear like a company is doing like a survey, a phone survey, and usually the people that respond to those phone surveys are either very lonely or a little older.
Yeah,
looking for somebody to talk to, had a little extra time, and they can sit for an hour.
Generally, my experience is people that are a little naive or don't understand what older, because they didn't grow up to this technology, and why would they?
Right.
And quite frankly, why would you want to embrace? I don't know. I think it's, to me, it's just it's a low rent way of trying to get a message out, and I think the potential for a negative blowback from it is greater because it's an invasive, almost attacking way of trying to get people to see your views, and I don't necessarily agree with that way of doing it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
The problem is you try to fight back, it's just going to get you more inundated.
You
with
get in
stuff.
a rabbit hole and try to block or whatever, and next thing you know, you're getting 20 more of them from someone else. It's a losing battle. But if someone cares about me that much, would you care about me enough to not blow me up with this mess?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you are handed, if it wouldn't put you on 16 more lists, I would say you would be handed a perfect opportunity for a little ponage.
Yeah.
In that, Mehmet, is it you?
Right.
Dr. Oz, I've got so many questions about the keto diet, about triglycerides. Can we talk for a minute? Give me 30 minutes of your time.
Well, and you really wonder how much of these people know that this is on their behalf,
right?
And it's just I'm tired of getting texts saying, the world needs you. You're going to die tomorrow if you don't give me money for my campaign. And that's in essence what they're saying every single time. I'm, paraphrasing,
Right.
of course. But in essence, that's the tone of every single one of these messages.
America's at a crossing point.
Yeah,
Time for a change.
I'm like, I'm tired of the fear mongering and tired of all this just to get, because it's a tactic that is part of the problem we have today. My opinion is because you're either for us or against us, and that just creates more of that. And I'm like, there's a lot more degrees than you're either on our team or their team. And in this country, that's how it works. And as much as you want to believe otherwise, that's not true. Yeah. And that's the beauty of this country, is you get to believe other things and get to do that without fear of others. And that includes people doing things you don't like either.
Thank you for my freedom, America.
I think people tend to forget that part of it when they're fighting for their freedoms, and forget that other people you disagree with have equally the same freedom. And if you're going to try to impede that, then I'm not on your side, regardless of what your position is. So that's because that's how this country works. And for it to continue working this way, that's how you got to do it. Otherwise, you start running into problems like, Nazi Germany and things like that.
I did think it was kind of odd when Dr. Oz told me to, at the end of that long, heartfelt message that he genuinely sent me from, his legit phone. I did think it was odd that he told me to text stop to opt out. That seems a little odd, Mehmet. I could just tell you to maybe not send these anymore. I shouldn't have to say stop.
Yeah.
Is there a code word? Is that how I deactivate you?
Yeah. The code word is stop. Anyway, I just got one, and it just annoys me. It's a little one of those little pet peeves of mine.
It's one of those little irritating issues that's part of being alive in 2022.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of many, but it's definitely one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, is the juice worth the squeeze on this stuff? Like, are they really getting any kind of investment?
I got to imagine if they're continuing to do it still, that there's got to be some kind of ROI.
But my point is, are they really, or are they just getting told by the people that create this garbage that it's doing something?
Right.
Oh, look at the numbers of people that got it. Great, but how many votes does it translate to?
Sure.
And they can't tell you that.
That's really,
they can BS you and lie all they want, but they don't know.
Yeah, that's missing some variables to complete that equation.
Yeah.
There's no way that your text campaign had a direct effect on the election. So
that's why I have a big problem with a lot of polling, too, because the way it's done is very much, it's independent my foot.
It's a very speculative.
Every poll that comes out there comes from an agenda from somewhere. Whose agenda is it? Is it? And that's what you need to know. That's why I put very little stock in polling, because any idiot can create a poll. And you have no idea. And you're like, well, it's Rasmussen. I don't care. They get manipulated just like everybody else does, The
last PAC I trusted was 2-pack.
And my right guard 2-pack.
I always love on Taco Tuesday. You can go get yourself a 2-pack of tacos.
I buy my deodorant by the 2-pack.
2-pack Shakur. You know what I'm talking. 2-pack. And you're really lose some street cred. Walk into a room and go, I love me some 2-pack. Oh, that one Biggie gentleman.
Yeah.
Mr. Big, was it?
Mr. Bigger Smalls.
No relation.
No, not at all, but with a Z. But anyway, just my 2 cents on that one. Terry Delgado with New Mexico Senior Olympics scheduled to join us this hour. I haven't heard anything. I'm guessing our guest isn't in the studio yet to join us to talk about Fall Prevention Awareness Week and talking about their big event they've got planned September the 20th, which is just a few short days away at the Aquatic Center. Next week, they're going to be doing events from 9 to 2. Seniors 15 plus are invited to come out. Topics from some of the different workshops include balance, flexibility, and strength training. They're also going to be doing health screenings. Get your flu shots while you're out there too, and they're offering free sack lunch for the first 40 people. They're also going to have health education mini workshops, foot and orthopedic care, fun sports demonstrations of pickleball, badminton, cornhole, and dance lessons too. So, but we'll talk more about that with Terry here in just a few minutes.
Hope you guys are limber. We're learning the lambada.
Lobotomy? I haven't heard the term lambada in a year.
It's one of those, like, it was back for like for like 3 or 4 years in like the 90s. It was known as the Forbidden Dance.
Yes,
and it was
movies and everything.
It was the big deal. Yeah,
I think they made a sequel movie too. There was Lambada, the Forbidden Dance, but I want to think like there was Lambada 2, even more sultry.
Yeah, you don't really see it featured on Dancing with the Stars. It was Foxtrot Week. Oh, is it Lambada Week? Wow, Wee Man got weird with it.
It's pretty much just salsa dancing, right? Isn't that what Lambada
I think
is?
so.
It's salsa dancing is
Yeah,
what
it's just overtly, I think,
maybe a little bit more
sexually charged.
Exactly, a little more charge there. But other than that,
then
it's
again, a lot
dancing.
of those that I see on Dancing with the Stars, I'm like, yeah, y'all are messing around in the back, right? I mean, something's going on.
It's supposed to be the language of love or something.
Yeah,
I'm not a dancer.
I'm no. I express myself mostly through pottery.
Yeah. You get, this is what you get.
I like to think that people who know me know that.
I talk on the radio for 3 hours a day, and that's what I do. I don't dance, I don't sing, I talk and spew for 3 hours. That's what I do.
Every night I sit in front of a table while a otherworldly gentleman rubs my shoulders, and we make a pot together. It's fun. Well, Unchained Melody plays in the background. It's nice. It's a good way to unwind at the end of the day.
Very good. Met this guy in the subway. But,
he said he was a ghost. I'm going to go with it. I think he's just pale.
But he knows how to dance.
They called him Milky?
He knows how to dance and really good at fighting, by the way. Oh, and he's kind of dreamy. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like all the moist air has moved out of our state for a while, so things look pretty good today. We'll have sunshine warming up to the mid-90s and a little bit breezy. Overnight it'll be clear down to the mid-60s, and then we're expecting mid-90s again on Friday with sunshine. Looks like we'll stay pretty warm and dry through the weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday around 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 70 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71%. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour. We do have a 20% chance at some rain showers for this afternoon, mainly after 3 today. But for the most part, sunny skies and a high of 91 expected. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be mostly clear, looking at an overnight low of 63 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Friday, should be good football watching weather. Sunny skies, 94 for a high during the day with south winds 5 to 15. Friday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 65 with winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then warming up for the weekend, sunny, 95 for Saturday, south winds 10 to 15. And then Sunday, sunny skies, highs right around 94. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Terry Delgado with New Mexico Senior Olympics will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
You are invited to a Senior Olympics health promotion event on Tuesday, September 20th to help celebrate the National Falls Prevention Awareness Week at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event is free for seniors 50 plus and will include topics to help with balance, flexibility, and strength training. Health screenings will include free flu shots, free sack lunch to the first 40 people. The day will also include health education mini workshops on foot and orthopedic care, fun sports demonstrations of pickleball, badminton, cornhole, and dance lessons. No pre-registration required. For more information, call 575-623-5777.
Sometimes we put off important health needs like surgeries because, well, we worry about the pain and time needed for recovery. Dr. Paul Torres, a board-certified general surgeon, has joined Loveless Healthcare Center and is helping patients in the Roswell area get back to the lives they love with less pain and a faster recovery through advances in minimally invasive surgery. To find out if laparoscopic surgery is the best solution for you, call Loveless and make an appointment today at 575-625-3222.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2022.
In the gun, Prescott, inside handoff, Elliott.
Only heard here.
Bouncing right with a convoy to the 5, near the pylon.
All season.
Touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott, 13 yards.
Sunday afternoon, it's your Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Live from AT&T Stadium.
On this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game 1:30, kickoff at 2:30 on Southeastern Mexico's official Cowboy station, 92.9 The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from New Mexico Senior Olympics, Terry Delgado back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. How's it going?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, I am good, and we are so glad to be back up and running and getting things going. So, yeah, we're here.
It's nice to feel like doing the normal things that you signed up
if
for.
If we can call it normal, yeah. We're getting back to normal.
But, we were just talking here during the break, and, of course, the Senior Olympics had their Olympics event back in June.
We did.
It was nice to get back out there and do its thing. They had to scale back some of the events, because of COVID and everything. But hopefully next time around, those will be back on the schedule.
We are hoping in October our board of directors will say, yes, let's open it up and get everything back up and running. We went from 27 sports down to 18 sports this last June. And our games will be held again in June 7th through the 10th in Las Cruces of 2023. We will be in Las Cruces the next 3 years, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in competing in 2023, now is the time to maybe reach out and start, getting together and finding out, what different categories you want to compete in.
Right, because we've got so many.
Yeah. I mean, everything from running to your pickleball and those kind of things.
Yes.
To basketball, free
air
throw
gun,
shooting,
archery, swimming. Yep.
Yeah.
We've got it all.
If it's an activity or sport, there's probably individually at least.
Yes.
Odds are pretty good. There's a Senior Olympics event that's surrounding it.
Probably is. And you don't have to be a jock to be a Senior Olympian.
No.
No, we have our recreational folks that come out and they want to come out and have fun and just the camaraderie of
get
getting
outdoors
together
and walk around and just be physical and talking to people and doing human things.
Get it up and running again.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what New Mexico Senior Olympics is all about.
It is.
It's to provide a platform for seniors to be active, to be physical, to live lives. Because obviously, as we get older, lives change. People start disappearing. I mean, it can be a tough phase of life or
it really
a transition.
Can be, yes, and we don't want that to happen to anybody.
And that's what Senior Olympics like. All right, let's fill the void. Let's replace some of the things you're missing now with new opportunities and new things to get passionate about. And that's at the end of the day, sure, it's all about throwing a frisbee or running or whatever, but it really is about the making better people and getting those people to enjoy life more, and that's what it's all about.
We got to get up and moving, and we can we can be couch potatoes, but couch potatoes aren't healthy couch potatoes for the most part. So we want to get up, even if you're just walking, a mile a day or something, 15 minutes a day.
Every little bit,
Every little bit helps, and that'll get you going to be a senior Olympian.
Yeah.
And you only have to be 50 years old to be a senior Olympian.
Yeah, I almost qualified.
You almost qualified? Mm-hmm. We're not going there.
I'm getting close. ARP's already knocking on the doors.
They're knocking on the door. Yep, there you go. There you go. Well, we'll be ready for you.
But, when there's not actual Olympic Games going on, there's a lot of stuff going on through the year to keep
we do, yes.
Opportunities. And September 20th here, we've got another one of those events where
yes, we do.
This one's kind of centered around National Falls Prevention Week, but it really is more than just talking about fall prevention and things like that.
It really is. So the National Council on Aging does recognize September, the first day of fall in September. They recognize that as National Falls Prevention Day.
Gotcha.
So they consider next week, starting Sunday, will be National Falls Prevention Week.
Okay.
And we will definitely be having a little health promotion event. It'll be the first of many to come throughout the year.
Now that COVID's kind of in the rearview mirror, we can start putting these back on the schedule again.
We can, definitely.
Yeah.
And our people are ready to come out. Our seniors are ready to come out. We held our volleyball tournament recently in Albuquerque and had, I believe it was 17 teams.
Nice.
And they came from all over.
Are they six-person or two-person?
They are
okay.
Six-person for volleyball.
Nice.
And it's a regular volleyball game. They do everything, pretty much everything that your high school and college do.
Okay. I didn't know it was like beach volleyball. I know there's different forms.
Nationals has beach volleyball, sand volleyball now, but we do not yet.
Those are in pairs, not in six, but
I believe
think so.
Yes.
Yeah, at least the Olympics are. I don't know about senior Olympics, but,
not sure about the seniors, but we had a good turnout for our volleyball tournament.
Good.
So
glad to hear
we're
that.
Gearing up, and I just tossed you a softball.
Yes,
we are holding our softball team tournament coming up October 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
In Las Cruces.
All right.
We have to go to different areas. We go where the venues are going to work for us.
Sure.
And Las Cruces has some really nice softball fields.
Okay.
And they have enough. We need at least a minimum of 6 fields.
So do you do that to create leagues, or are teams that are already formed?
No, these are
or how does
pretty much teams that are already formed.
Okay.
And so our senior league teams, we have right now 23 teams registered.
Okay.
We have men's and women's. We don't do co-ed for softball.
Okay.
But we have men's and women's teams, and they come from all over also. But yes, they are already teams that are formed.
Okay. So if you got a team and you're looking for a league, and you obviously meet the requirements of senior Olympics,
right?
Being 50 and up.
50 and up.
Maybe we found a league for you.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yes, we do this once a year, like our volleyball tournament and our basketball team tournament. We do these once a year.
Great.
And
or if you're looking to start a team. Hey, we got a bunch of guys who used to play football or play softball.
Play softball. Come on over. Put it back together.
Years, let's put the team back together here and go.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a team to play on, you can't form your own team, give us a call and we might be able to put you on a team with one of the formed teams already.
I would imagine each of the teams that are formed, they have, life happens, people get busy and they can't commit anymore, so they got to replace the people.
Got to replace them, right.
Things like that. So there might be some openings. And
we do have one Roswell team that's going. We're so excited. We've had them before, and we'd love to have more Roswell teams, but we've got the one. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So if you want more information about that, please reach out to Senior Olympics. I'd be happy to, and we'll give you numbers here and all that.
Numbers
before
and
we
emails,
wrap up here.
Of course.
But September 20th.
Yes.
Is going to be the big awareness event that's going to be taking place. It's at the Recreation Aquatics Center.
Correct.
It's going to be happening in the morning, 9 to 2. So
9 to
morning
2.
into the afternoon.
Early afternoon.
But it really is an opportunity for seniors to come and learn a bunch of different stuff, but also get to see and do. It's not just about classes.
It's not just
around.
Sitting there and doing that and just listening to a speaker. No, we want to get everybody up and active, involved. We do have a couple of speakers. Since your last listing, we did have to change one of them out.
Okay.
So we will still have our podiatrist, Dr. Ash, will be there. He'll be coming out and he will be talking, on common foot and ankle injuries.
Okay.
And kind of help you out with, what you can do so you don't fall, so you're not falling.
And I imagine you probably also get, not even with just fall, but like, diabetes things and some of the foot care stuff. He can help you with all that kind of thing.
Yes, he can help you with that, definitely. And he is right here in Roswell.
Yes.
Yes. And we're also going to have the Eastern New Mexico University Roswell campus occupational therapy assistance program.
Okay.
That will be out there. They will be doing our 9 o'clock session. And they're going to give you lots of tips and pointers on, what you can do if you do fall, or kind of help you out with those things.
Gotcha. Even maybe a little bit of like the rehab things to kind of keep the injuries from prolonging and things like that.
So we have a wonderful program coming up for Tuesday, and I hope everybody comes out. You know, we hope to get a lot of people out, a lot of our seniors out, because it is packed with just good speakers and things to do.
And it's very affordable.
It is. It's very affordable. It's free.
That's the kind of affordable item people
love
like.
that. Yes. We want to get our seniors out. We really want to help them, in their daily lives. So we're not going to charge them anything.
Yeah. This is all for you to learn, and what we're hoping is you come out and then you get bit by a bug and you get interested in something, and next thing you know, you're signing up on a team, or you're maybe or at very least getting appointments with some of our specialists and maybe doing follow-on with whatever issues you have.
Of course, exactly, yes. And that's what we're shooting for. You know, we want you to be able to utilize our speakers that are coming out, and we will have a sign-up form for Senior Olympics. If you want more information, we're going to get that sign-up form.
So if you want to learn about being an Olympian in 2023 in cruises, come out here on the 20th.
Yes.
And come out and learn some stuff, but then reach out to about, finding out what opportunities and things. And we'll tell you the website and all if you want to, over the weekend, kind of check it out and see all the different events and things and what you could potentially compete in.
Exactly.
We'll tell you all that here in a little bit.
Yes. In fact, we are going to have our director, Cecilia Costa, is going to be doing a talk about local games, what you can do at local games, and how to reestablish them. We haven't had local games here in Chaves County area for a few years. We lost our local coordinator. We didn't lose her; she just moved on to something else. But we
hosted the state game.
We sure did.
What was that, about 4 or 5 years ago?
It was 3, 4, 5, at least 6 years ago.
I'm so bad at
count
time.
Back from COVID.
Because COVID's throwing a wrench, and I'm like, it was just like last year. No, that was like 5 years ago.
Seems like last year. Yes, but we were here for 3 years, and it was great. We had games here in Roswell, and had great support from the Roswell people and all our venues, the Institute, the city of Roswell. Everybody was awesome.
There was almost every inch of town.
Just about
was utilized for Senior Olympics in some way, shape, or form. During that time.
We sure did.
Yeah.
We were all over, and
maybe someday we'll see it all coming back again here.
Well, we hope so.
At least, but for the next 3 years, at least,
3 years.
Cruises will be our home for the, which it's now you get an excuse to go travel and try all the restaurants. And
there you go.
They've got in Cruises.
That's right.
Hit all those
Get you up and moving.
Yeah, exactly. So
get you up and moving. Yes, but our day, like I say, is going to be filled with lots of activities. Again, the OTA program. We're going to have pickleball. We'll have a line dance demonstration.
Oh, cool. Okay.
By one of our own athletes, Hope McKinley. Okay. Hope also has. She will be doing her classes. Her workshops will be at the Adult Center also.
Oh, great.
She does those. I don't have the dates for those,
so
but
if you
she will have a handout.
Wet this week, then you can come and take her
classes.
Regular classes at the Adult
Definitely.
Center. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly.
Good deal. And I love the demonstrations you're going to be doing a little later too, with the pickleball and all that kind of stuff. That you can see some of the actual sports that are
you sure can.
competing. But you also understand, like, I know pickleball. I just know from my in-laws' experience. That's serious business for
it is.
for the competitors of pickleball.
It really is.
They have a lot of fun and everything too.
Right.
But I remember going to like a little pickleball. It wasn't a tournament. It was basically just some people playing in a neighborhood there.
Right.
And I kind of hung out and just and I remember I made a couple just jokes, not like disparaging jokes, just like just a pickleball. Just
right.
I don't even remember what it was. Something really vanilla and but everyone looked at me like it was like the record player stop. Like when you walk in a bar. And everyone's like, what? I made that joke. And I was like, sorry, I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to joke about pickleball.
Pickleball is serious business. It is serious business, definitely. Yep. You know, it is crazy. It is such a big sport. It's grown so much. It's kind of a cross between badminton and table tennis.
Yeah.
What I've heard it referred to also is like it's table tennis, but standing up.
Yeah. Like if you were tiny and stood on the table, that's kind of like pickleball.
Standing on the table.
But but it's not big like tennis because you don't have a full court. So
it's a little bit smaller.
So if you were like 2 feet tall and played on the picnic table, on the ping pong table,
yes,
then that's about
that
what
would be about what it
seems
is.
like.
Yes,
It would be like.
And you play with a wiffle ball. Well, we call it a wiffle ball. It looks like a wiffle ball. It's called a pickleball.
Yeah,
of course.
Don't confuse the two.
Don't confuse the two. They are different because the indoor ball is different from the outdoor ball.
Gotcha.
One of them has more holes than the other.
Okay. I imagine there's a weight issue
know that.
too. I did not know that. So, well, it's like, well, what makes it? And maybe there's probably some other weird, like the holes are concave for wiffle, and
the holes are different. Yes,
they're more round for pickleball.
Yeah, it is an interesting sport, though.
It is. It's
in
a lot
fact,
of fun too.
Here at the recreation center, the Recreation and Aquatic Center, they do have a small group
that plays
that
pickleball?
is playing.
Okay.
They have 2 courts that are lined for, I believe it's 2 courts that are lined for pickleball.
Okay.
And they would love to have people come out. I believe their group is under 10 right now.
Okay. And it's a good physical sport where it's not a lot of running because, let's face it, you're not on a huge tennis court.
Correct.
But as far as reaction time, speed, and all of that, it's right there. So if you crave that, you're not ready to go run on a football field because of physical but you want something that's a little more fast-paced, pickleball is definitely your cup of tea, I think.
It is.
Like shuffleboard, and those are a little bit more slower conversational type activities. Pickleball is a little more in your face. We're playing.
It can be, yes. And so many people are going from they're not playing badminton or tennis anymore, and they're saying, the tennis, it's harder on their knees, but the pickleball is what they're going to. So it's kind of interesting.
Because of less probably running around.
It's a little
bit
less, yes. And especially when you have a partner, then of course you're not running around as much.
That makes sense.
Is a little bit
I bet
smaller.
a lot of badminton tennis players that are kind of, I'm too old to be running around that now. They take a pickleball or handball or something that is a smaller court for them.
It's a little bit smaller. It's not
cover.
much smaller, but it is a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. And the gentleman that we've got coming out to do our pickleball and our badminton clinic is our own coach, Jack Batson.
Oh, cool.
Jack's been around for many, many years. He is retired, but he knows both of those sports, and he's done many clinics for us. So he is very versed in the rules and where you're supposed to stand with both of those.
Proper protocols.
Proper protocol, exactly.
Keep him getting yelled at by the other players.
Yeah, that's right.
The etiquette.
That's right. Yeah, you got to keep it toned down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he will be out there. We are doing some water aerobics.
Good.
And we have the instructors from the Aquatic Center that will be doing those. That will be at 10 o'clock and at 1 o'clock.
Okay. And I imagine once you go through that and stuff and you want to learn about taking their regular classes, they can give you all that information. So,
they will have all that information.
Because that's something I want to stress here is these demonstrations and things, they're designed for you to introduce you to them. But to get the benefit, you got to do it more than once.
Keep it going.
Than you do on September 20th. You got to go back and keep doing these
That's
things.
right.
So.
And the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center is the perfect place to do this.
Absolutely. So it's
really
kind of like, hey, let me show you these. Oh, by the way, you can come down the hall here and do them when we're not doing this. So.
And I have to give a plug for that center. It is just awesome. If you've never been there, you have to go. You've got to go and check it out. It's really fantastic. They even have a weight room.
Yeah, get you a pass.
Yes.
And there's so many times where people go and work out, whether it's the weight room or any of that stuff, and you've got this whole state-of-the-art gym, and it's just you and one other person, or maybe just you.
Right.
So,
So they take advantage of it, definitely. But their aquatics, their swimming pool is just awesome. It really is. They've got the indoor, and then they've got the outdoor.
Although that
not
should be
sure what
closing
they
down
call
here
it.
pretty quick.
It should be. I'm sure the outdoor will be closing down.
With Labor Day past now. And
right.
I know splash pads are all closing down. But
yes.
But lap swimming and all the stuff indoor, that continues all year round.
It will.
So,
yes. Yeah. And I understand it's a nice heated pool. I'm sorry to say I'm not a swimmer myself.
Our sales manager Thomas, he swims regularly out there and loves going out there and swimming laps. And
I understand they have pretty good showing out there.
And depends on what time of day you show up out there. True. It might get a little competitive too. I know some of those people like I swam in college, I can beat my time and all that. Yeah,
yeah. Just watch out. Just watch out. Yeah. One thing we are going to be it's going to be a little different on Tuesday. We're having billiards.
Okay.
8-ball pool.
Okay.
But it will be over at the Roswell Adult Center.
Okay.
And that's over on
I imagine
North
that's where
Missouri.
the billiard tables are.
That's where the tables are. Yes, yes. And we do have again our own Richard McKinley.
Okay.
He is a competitor himself, but he's also been our sport coordinator for 8-ball pool for our Senior Olympics.
Okay.
For many years.
Okay.
And he will be doing some demos and giving some tips and pointers. And even if you know what you're doing, come on out and play because Richard can always give you some tips and pointers.
I know enough to know about billiards that, there's the physical element.
Yes.
But a lot of it's angles and math. If you know that kind of stuff,
right?
You could probably be pretty good at billiards.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you probably because it's all about angles and playing that stuff, and it's a thinking person's game. It definitely is. So,
right.
yeah.
And you get to see our brand new 8-ball pool balls.
Oh,
We've
nice.
got balls, the balls with our logos on. They're
cool.
really
Specialized.
cool.
Nice.
So they're really nice. We love them.
Good deal. Take care of them, please.
Yes, take care of them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then we also have a couple of other things that are going on. We have a Sprint. It's a sports rehab center.
Okay.
We'll have some physical therapists that's going to come out.
Oh, good.
And talk about fall prevention and exercise.
Okay.
And what you can do at home to prevent fall prevention, to prevent the falls.
Sure.
So she's going to be out there.
That when we talk, especially when we talk like hip injuries, things, a lot of times for seniors, those can be death sentences
They can
for them.
be. So you've got to be very careful.
But when you talk to people like this, like not only talking about nutrition, but like stretching and things.
Right.
When, let's face it, accidents happen. We're all going to take a tumble. It's inevitable. You know what I mean? It's just life. But if you're doing the stretching, if you're, doing the nutrition, the things that you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. There you go.
The long-term effects from those falls are very minimal.
Yes, they are.
I've shared this story a couple times. But my grandmother, when she was in her 70s, she fell down the steps and broke her hip.
Ouch.
And she was late 70s, like 78, 77 time frame.
Right.
My grandmother drank milk like every meal, She was just a constant milk drinker.
Wow.
And literally, she had a full recovery at 78 from a hip.
Wow.
She ended up dying a couple years later for something different.
Sure.
But
she didn't have the brittle bones.
Yeah, she moved.
She had the calcium.
Shortly after the cast, all the things they did, the healthcare side.
Right.
I would say within months after all of that, she was walking and moving.
Right.
Pretty much like she was prior to the accident.
That's great. So that milk contributed. I'm sure she was an active lady.
Absolutely too.
Great.
Yeah, she was fun.
There you go. Good deal. And we also have what we call, it's our enhanced fitness class. It's a group exercise class.
Okay.
It is evidence-based.
All right.
And the 3 components to fitness are strength training, flexibility, cardiovascular conditioning. That's what enhanced fitness will do for you. It is a free class to 65 and over.
Okay.
It is held over here at the Joy Center. And Jan Melton is our certified enhanced fitness instructor. She will be there doing her workshop on enhanced fitness and promoting it. And it's something that we see a lot of people. We have really good testimonials of people that have been in wheelchairs. Mm-hmm. They take this class. 6 weeks later, they're up and walking.
Wow.
They're exercising out of their wheelchairs.
Good for them.
They've lost weight. So lots of testimonials that enhanced fitness works.
Absolutely.
And again, it is evidence-based. So what they'll do is they'll take talk to you about, take all your information as far as what you can do, how many sits to stands you can do, how much weight you can lift when you first start. Then they'll do that again, I believe it's in 6 weeks, and see how far you've progressed.
Sure.
And it is really an interesting class, and it's a great class.
And just me personally, in my own life experiences and learning and things, I've learned that, when we talk about these kinds of classes and things, it's, when we talk about getting in shape and it's not the physical side that's really the limitation. It's the mental side. The
mind.
A
lot of it is, yes.
It's because you think you got to go work out and you've got to bust out 37 push-ups or whatever it is, And you're like, no. Being physical for you is different than being physical for, say, an NFL athlete.
Right.
So what we're trying to get you to do is, no, you don't have to go out and do a killer workout every time you do something physical. We're just saying be active. Go walking.
Right.
Instead of taking the elevator, take the steps.
Take the steps.
You know, you had a crazy meal? Okay, let's take a walk afterwards or do something physical to counterbalance
Just get something going.
You know, okay, you want to start jogging or doing push-ups? Great. You don't have to do 30. Let's do 1 and see how we go
start
there.
Out, of course.
And do it from there. And you know what? Maybe in a couple months you're going to be doing 20
then you'll
or
be
so.
up to however many.
But
sure.
It's no different than you walking into a room and they said, oh, here's the nuclear codes. Figure out how to solve this. And you have no knowledge of doing that. You're not going to do it. It's the same concept. So
it really is.
So when we come to these, it's all about mindset and saying, no. Don't put the thing out. I'm too old now. I can't get out of that wheelchair.
And that's not at all. You can do it.
It's baby steps. Let's start today by, hey, let's hold off on eating that bigger portion. Or hey, when we're done, let's go ahead and do some stretches.
Right.
That's and it starts from there.
Have your ice cream, but go have a walk afterwards.
Exactly. So I think a lot of us in our head thinking we got to turn it around overnight.
Right.
And
that's
you're
not
going to
fail
if you do it.
That's not going to happen.
Have that mindset.
And you know, the other thing that we like to talk about is with our enhanced fitness, with any exercise that you have fun at it. Enhanced fitness, it's not dancing.
Yeah.
But it's moving and it's to music, and the music that they have it's just awesome.
Sure.
So you have fun. You don't just go out there thinking, oh, I'm going to go out and work hard and I'm going to be sweaty and stinky. And no, you're going to go out there and have fun, and you're going to
And that helps with the motivation side.
It really does.
Is the social, because it does really help. I mean, I'm not saying you need to like go over and be like some kind of authoritarian figure, but
no, right.
But when you have a friend say, hey, you going to Pilates class or whatever it is you're going to do today.
Right.
And if you were by yourself doing it, you're like, I don't feel like it today. I'm going to go. But when that person calls, all right, pick me up here in 5 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's always great to go with a buddy.
Yeah.
Go with a buddy.
Because once you get there,
walking.
you're having fun.
Of course.
It's just that mental crossing the threshold and committing to doing it.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And that time will go by, that 45 minutes to an hour will go by so fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
even
really,
that 15-minute walk.
Look at the 20th as one of these things. If you're like, I need to do all this, but grab some friends, come on. They're going to feed you. First 40 people get a free sack lunch.
First 40 people get a free sack lunch.
And so, you're getting, and there's usually swag. Like if you need flu shots, things like that. There's going to be health screenings for some of that stuff as well too. So it's not just coming and learn about physical fitness and fall.
There's going to be something
prevention.
for everybody. There really is. And I'm glad you mentioned the health screenings. We do have the wellness assessments that are going to be provided by La Casa Family Health Center. They're going to come out and do blood pressure, blood sugars, and BMIs.
Okay.
The flu shots and Omicron boosters are going to be done by Albertsons. They are coming all the way from Albuquerque. It's the Albertsons pharmacy that travels. They travel all over the state.
Okay.
So they're going to be doing if you haven't had your Omicron booster and you want it, it's going to be there on Tuesday.
Very good.
Flu shots, they're ready to get them going. We were just at the state fair in Albuquerque this past Monday, and they were doing flu shots already. So
good.
It's not too early.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. It is, yes.
And the too early thing, don't worry about that.
No.
I know some people say, well, if I take it now, it means I'm going to have to get another one in March.
No,
that's not. That's
not the case.
That's
exactly.
Not accurate.
Yeah. And then we also have Miracle Ear that's going to come out and do some free hearing screening.
So if people want to either improve or establish some hearing.
Establish what they're where they're
like
at with their hearing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
My wife has hearing aids and things. Pro tip. And I've heard after going to one of her hearing appointments, I've learned this and saying, the more you take care of your hearing aids, the better they will work for you.
Oh, okay.
Just a pro tip, because I know they go in your ears and they get wax, and if you just keep plugging them in and out every day, they're going to get gunked up in there. So please, you're going to be so much happier if you do your maintenance on your hearing aids and things.
Oh, of course,
keeping them clean and keeping them and obviously. Yeah. Keeping with your checkups and all that good stuff.
Right.
They do servicing on them too a lot of
They
times.
sure do.
But,
they sure do.
But sure a lot easier when you kind of do the minor cleaning yourself too.
And they're going to be able to help you with all of that and let you know what to do for that. Definitely.
Yeah, but it does impede hearing, so please remember that stuff. So.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Thank you for that. One other thing that we are going to be doing is Tai Chi.
Okay.
For arthritis and fall prevention.
Okay.
We have Marisalena. Her name is a little hard to say. Marisalena.
We've had her on the show a few
Have you?
times.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, she sounds wonderful. I haven't met her yet, but I understand she has a class over at the Salvation Army.
It's all about
Also.
Tai Chi for health.
Yes.
You're not learning Tai Chi to be the next Karate Kid. That's
Right.
not the point
No,
of this.
not at all.
This is not
No.
that at all. This is all about movement, stretching,
right,
and using these techniques to allow things like blood circulation, all of that kind of things to enhance it. So yes, it's Tai Chi. It's a martial art, but you're not wearing gis and doing crane kicks like the Karate Kid.
You can wear your tennis shoes or be barefoot if you want.
It's like stretching and
Yes.
movements, and think of it as more of an ancient yoga, like
There you go.
where martial arts. It's about mind, body,
Right.
spirit. It's focusing on that side like a yoga would do,
Right.
as opposed to karate or
Exactly.
some of the martial arts. Per
Yeah.
se.
And if you've never done Tai Chi and you just see it, it's like, some people think, oh, that's boring. How can that help?
Yeah.
Well, she's going to tell you, Marisalena is going to tell you how Tai Chi is going to be able to help with your sleep habits.
Yeah.
You have trouble sleeping, Tai Chi can help.
Yeah.
The pain that you have, it can help. There's different ways, different things that they can do. If you have
Sure.
arthritis, she can help.
These are all
fall
options
prevention.
that work along with your medicines. Like if you're prescribed medicines for these things, this might be an added level of that to give
Exactly.
you, like your arthritis and things like
Yes.
that. Some of these movements and stretches and things will keep some of that at bay. So when you're working with your doctor on treating it, adding this into the fold will definitely probably give you more better days of less pain and things because of it.
And it could be something that eventually you could kind of wean yourself off of some of those meds or kind of tone them down
Scale
a bit.
them back.
Scale them back.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So
Yes.
that's what Tai Chi is all about.
Yes.
It's about kind of your mind and body working in concert for better health.
Right.
That's it. That's kind of the concept behind it all. And it's through movement and stretching.
It is.
And kind of, it's not just you sitting in a room doing slow motion stretches.
Right.
It's you're really thinking and concentrating on executing those moves. And it's basically shutting out the world, and it's just you and your body focusing on doing these things. Not
really
forgetting about
is.
what the kids are doing, what the grandkids are doing, what you got to do after
This
work
is your
today.
time to
It's you
focus.
doing that. And when you get in that zone, so to speak, it really does benefits for your body.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. So we're really excited for our day. Like you mentioned earlier, we're going to have all these different sports also. We're going to have basketball, three-point and free throw.
Okay.
And our retired coach, Randy Lyons.
Okay.
He's been at a couple of different schools here in the Roswell area.
Okay.
He will be out helping people showing them how to throw the free throw, where to stand, how to stand. It's not just throwing a basketball towards the hoop.
Yeah.
You really have to think about it.
Understand more aspects of the game.
Yes,
per se.
definitely.
Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah.
So, again, this is all happening September 20th. It's going to be at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Roswell Convention. The Roswell Aquatic and Recreation Center.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say. 9
I knew you
a.m.
did.
to 2 p.m. The event is completely free.
Yes.
Seniors 50 and up, just come on. Do they need to RSVP or anything, or just
we
show
would
up?
like for them to, but we
Okay.
do not require an RSVP. We just
Okay.
want you to show up and be there. If you want to call us and let us know, yes, you're going to be there.
Okay.
We'll sure take your name down.
Good deal. So if you'd like to, or if you have questions, if you're like, are you going to have this? Or I'd like to tell you I'm coming, I'm going
Yes.
to bring my friend. Reach out to New Mexico Senior Olympics by calling 575-623-5777. I got a
Yes.
feeling you're going to talk to Terry when you would call that number.
You'll actually talk to Gina or Julio.
Okay.
They'll be the ones answering the phone, but they'll have all the information. And if they don't, they can pass you on to me. And if you want to speak to me, to Terry, I would be happy to speak to you.
Very good.
You can call and ask for me.
I know for if you follow the Mexico Senior Olympics on Facebook, great thing. Follow it. But be forewarned, it's not just Roswell stuff. It's all of New Mexico
Correct.
Senior Olympics. So you're going to learn about events in Hobbs and all over the state, including the Roswell stuff. So if you're a follower and wanting to get competing and all that, you probably want to like and follow just to kind of stay up to date statewide what's going on. But if you want more Roswell-specific stuff, call the office.
Call the office,
575-623-5777.
Right. But you're right, Mike. We are going to have these health promotion awareness events all over New Mexico. We're going to have, besides the Run in Roswell, we will have another 5 or 6. We'll have a volleyball clinic, a basketball clinic, a track and field clinic. So give us a call. And again, look us up on Facebook, look at our website, nmseniorolympics.org.
Yeah.
Find out what we're doing, and we'll have something in your area.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really great. And seniors, come out to this event. I think you'll make a few friends. You're going to have a good time. You're going to
you'll have
fun.
a wonderful time.
And who knows, you might just find your next passion.
That's right.
The thing. You're like,
that's right.
Man, I've always wanted to do cornhole.
Yes.
Now I got some people that can do it. Now we got a regular cornhole appointment every week.
We know when we can do it. Yes, you're going to learn a new sport.
Yeah.
Try it. Don't be afraid to try it.
Yeah. And by the way, now my leg isn't hurt as much because now I got some stretches.
That's right.
That help mitigate some of that.
Yes.
So I don't wake up in the morning, all stowed up and trying to get moving for half an hour before I get going.
And like you said, we don't want you just to come out for this day and do it just on this day. We want this to be something that's going to be, it's going to work for the rest of your life.
It's establishing a lifestyle pattern, and that's what it's
really
all about. And of course, if you want more information or have questions, New Mexico Senior Olympics is a great resource for that. If you're a senior and looking to learn, hey, I've got this, where can I turn to? If the Senior Olympics can't directly help you, they can put you in touch with the people that can.
We sure can.
Yeah.
We can find somebody to help.
575-623-5777 is the phone number to call here locally. Yeah. And like I said, look for New Mexico Senior Olympics on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Remind you, that's the entire state. So,
that's correct. Or nmseniorolympics.org is our website.
Very good. Good deal.
Awesome.
And then come on out. Again, the event will be September 20th, next Tuesday, at the Aquatic Center from 9 a.m. to 2.
9 a.m. to 2.
Is it a good idea to be there right at 9? Or
nope, you want to be there early. We want you there a little bit early. Okay. We're going to have a little opening session at 8:45.
Okay.
Just to kind of welcome everybody and get you to your different places. Because there are going to be concurrent workshops.
Okay.
At least 2 or 3 each hour. So get there early.
If someone's got an early appointment, can't make it till 10, can they still come out?
That's fine. They can still come out. They can come out anytime during the day, of course.
So if you got other engagements or appointments and things, doctor's appointment or a lunch date or whatever it is, anytime between 10 and 2 or 9 and 2, you can come out.
Come on out.
And we'd love to have you. Just
love to have you. Yes, definitely.
But get there.
Come on over. Quarter till between 8:30, 8:45. Come on out and we'll
we can experience everything.
Yes. Yes.
Deal.
Plan the day.
Well, thank you as always. Appreciate it, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you.
See you next time. And hopefully, like I said, now that we're post-COVID here, we're looking for more New Mexico Senior Olympics events showing up on the calendars here, and
our calendar's already full.
Good,
so we're there.
Excellent. So reach out,
great,
and get involved.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Anytime. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
All right. It is 9:56. Town Hall business update. Quick break before we go.
Thank you, sir.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Americans loosened the purse strings in August compared to the month before.
The Commerce Department says retail sales rose an unexpected 0.3% last month, following a 0.4% decline in July. Excluding business at gas stations, sales rose 0.8%. Sales at grocery stores rose 0.5%, helped by rising prices in food. Business at restaurants rose 1.1%, while online sales fell 0.7%.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. A tentative agreement has been reached to avert an economically crippling freight rail strike that had been planned for tomorrow. California is suing Amazon, accusing it of anti-competitive practices in violation of state law. Wall Street opened lower this morning and remained in the red at mid-morning. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair, a celebration of 100 years, is happening October 3rd through the 8th, and we want to see your arts and crafts creations. Turn-in dates for arts and crafts entries will be September 23rd and 24th from 9 to 6, and the 25th from 1 to 6. Baking entries are due October 1st from 9 until noon. Flower Show A turn-in times will be October 2nd from 8:30 to 11:30, and Flower Show B turn-in times are October 6th from 8:30 to 11:30. Log on to enmsf.com to download this year's fair book or call 575-623-9411. Ad paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Make your home a smart home with Smart Home Wi-Fi from Plateau. Now you can connect more devices to fast, reliable Wi-Fi throughout your home. That means faster speeds with no downtime or lag. Enhance your connection, expand your reach, and experience whole home device control and protection with Plateau. Plateau offers true fiber with options starting as low as $60 a month, all with no caps and no hidden fees. Call today 575-755-1000 or stop by 1001 South Main in Roswell. Get smart home Wi-Fi today from Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. You're listening